outside. Now father meets son one more time. Bowden Bowl 6, and it's no longer Bowden and Bowden for these fans. Now it's become Florida State and Clemson. Let's go to John, Craig, and Aaron in New York.
Hartford Mutual Fund pregame show. Again, as he said, it is Bowden Bowl number 6. The first 4 went to Pappy, but the last one went to Tommy.
Yeah.
The 11th ranked team in the country, and they don't lose much at home. A huge game in the ACC. Clemson in to play the Seminoles of Florida State. Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nussler. Welcome to Tallahassee. You know, Clemson wasn't planning on coming in here 1-2. They won their opener in double overtime, had a heartbreaking loss to Georgia Tech, and then they got hammered in College Station last weekend. Florida State lost their opener to Miami. They rebounded. They're 1-1. And, Bob, I don't know that there's ever been a late September that means more in the conference than these two teams have right now.
Well, as far as Clemson's concerned, they need a win to stay in the conference race. Now, for Florida State, they look a little bit bigger. They want to win to stay in the national championship, and it's all going to get back to the quarterbacks. They got 2 veteran quarterbacks in this ball game today. Charlie Whitehurst for Clemson. He's made 22 starts. This kid can really play. Chris Ricks, on the other hand, 37 starts. They both have not played well. They're 9th and 10th in the rankings, the pass efficiency in the conference. They need to play better, and as Bobby Bowden said yesterday, if that boy Charlie plays good, we're in trouble.
But if Chris Ricks plays good, we might not be in trouble. Speaking of Bowdens, we're going to bring in a special guest. Terry joins us in the booth. Nice to have you along with us, Coach.
Thank you so much.
You know, I think the whole Bowden Bowl novelty's kind of worn off, hasn't it?
It really has. You know, the funny thing is this isn't about the father. It's not about the son. It's about my mama. Nobody wants to disappoint her. Yesterday, they dedicated the statue to my father. She made all the children come, all the grandchildren come. She made Tommy bow down a couple of times. But you know what? They both need a win today. Somebody's going to lose, and somebody's going to upset her.
Yep. Well, Dad put it best, I guess. He said one of us is fixing to get hurt, either him or me. 4th guy of our broadcast crew's on the field. On a hot day, here's Lynn Swan. Swanee.
Thank you, Brad. The guy who wears number 60 for Clemson is an offensive tackle named Jesse Pickens. 4 years ago, when he was in high school, he only played 20 snaps, and none as a starter. He worked hard for 4 years, sometimes getting frustrated. A few weeks ago, he had his first start his entire life against Wake Forest and didn't play too bad. But Wake Forest is a long cry from Florida State. He's a young man who's worked awfully hard, but today he's going against some of the best defensive players in the country. We're going to follow that story and see how this young man fulfills his destiny and dreams on this field of battle, Brad.
That's the last time we'll see Swanee in a sport coat, I can bet. It's 83. It is sticky. The wind is whipping around a little bit out there as we were down on the field before the ball game. And there you see it. As we're just about set, Florida State won the toss and deferred, so Clemson will get the football first. One guy's got 343 wins, and his kid on the other side, 39. Florida State leads the all-time series, and Clemson has not won here in a long, long time. And there's Tommy on the other side in his 6th season as the head coach of Clemson. Xavier Bethia has got it teed up. Justin Miller is back deep for Clemson. And 83,000 ready for football. Here we go. It'll be 4 yards deep. And Curry will not bring it out. Clemson will work from its own 20-yard line. And that brings out the guy that Bob talked about, Charlie Whitehurst. 6'4", 225-pounder, and his numbers have not been what he had hoped to have. He wanted to cut down this year on his interceptions. He threw 13 a year ago, and already he has thrown 7.
Yeah, those numbers are not indicative of the play of Charlie Whitehurst. He is an outstanding talent. Watching him before the ball game, he's a big, tall kid with a strong arm.
Reggie Merriweather joins him in the backfield. It's shotgun and 3 wideouts immediately, and already the noise a little bit of a factor in the first play of the ball game. Whitehurst wants to throw and does. Skips it off the hands of Aries Curry, his speedy wide receiver who should have had it. As we take a look at our starting lineups. Up front, Swanee talked about Pickens being inexperienced. Johnson, Sharp is undersized, but he's their leader. Fry and Dukes across the front wall. The backs and receivers look like this. Merriweather gets to start. Hall's the tight end. They will use him at times. Bayham, Curry, and Stuckey are the wide receivers. It's 2nd down and 10 for Clemson. This
time they keep it on the ground straight up the middle, and that's a tough place to run against the Florida State defense that right now is third in the country against the rush and best in the ACC. Here's how they look: the defensive wall up front: Davis, Johnson, Bunkley, and Eric Moore. The linebackers are young, they are rangy, and they'll take your helmet off. Sims, Davis, and Nicholson. And the secondary is an experienced one: McFadden and Smith on the corners, and Carter and Watkins are the safety. It's third down. There's Mickey Andrews looking out. His team's played very well on that side of the ball through 2 games. 3rd and 7. Four wide out group for Whitehurst here. Got some pressure, got nailed as he threw, and it's incomplete. Eric Moore came winding around from that defensive end spot to make the hit.
This is not what Clemson wanted to do. Whitehurst threw the first pass a little too hard. Curry dropped it. They didn't want to come out and give 3 and out, giving the ball back to Florida State. Steps up nicely, and that's just too much Eric Moore for the Pickens, the left tackle that Swanee was talking about before the ball game.
Chase into punt, and that is Willie Reed. Back deep.
Not the deepest kick, taken on the fly by Reed, and he's got some room, and he can run. Willie Reed inside the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. 35-yard punt, and he brought it back almost that much. 32-yard punt return.
And boy, I tell you, as Jeff Bowden now, Terry, your brother is going to say this is where we like to take over.
If the game of field position, if you want field position, this is the way you'd like to start. Awful easy to call the ball in the +25 as opposed to the -25.
So Florida State huddling on their sideline will come out under their 4-year starting quarterback, Chris Ricks, and they'll walk it up to the line at the Clemson 26-yard line.
You're right, Terry. From this thing, Ricks can run anything he wants to.
Do they try to strike quickly?
Well, they haven't thrown a touchdown pass all year, Florida State.
Both wideouts to the top of your screen. There's the play action. Here's Ricks throwing, got a man open.
Incomplete, almost a touchdown. Chauncey Stovall was out there.
It was a pretty good throw, but he didn't quite get it.
It's a great call by Jeff, Terry.
Well, he's going to throw the little hitch in the flag route. He wants to test him early. Thought he would get the short pass to the wide receiver. They covered it. He had to go deep. Perfect throw. Should have made the catch for Chris Ricks.
There's the offensive line, a good one. Castillo back in there after the foot problems of a year ago. Here's the backs and receivers, including Stovall and Carfonzo Thorpe. Stovall was the intended receiver on that first one. 2nd down at 10. Clemson jumped in the neutral zone. Ricks takes a knee. That should be a free 5. Eric Coleman came out of his stance. Our officials today, Jack Childress is our referee. Jack. And it is 76, Eric Coleman with the offside. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5. The backs for Florida State were exceptional in their win last week over Alabama Birmingham. They're in an I backfield right now with B.J. Dean, the fullback. And it's the 2nd man through, and Clemson is waiting for him. Leon Washington all wrapped up, a loss of 2. Nice surge by the defensive front for the Clemson Tigers, and here's how they look up front. The front 4, Bennett and Coleman, Tate and Maurice Fountain. The linebackers, Leroy Hills, an all-ACC performer, one of the best in football. Sampson and Waters flank him. And the secondary, some speed back there. Miller and Hill on the corners, and Fudge and Pugh, the safeties.
One of the best secondaries in the country, but this defense has not played well. They're at or near the bottom in every defensive stats in the conference.
So each team has started off with a 3rd and 7. Ricks wants to throw a screen. Got it to his fullback, Dean, and he blasts his way for what looks like a 1st down.
They have never thrown a fullback screen yet this year. Everything's been strong to the tailback. There's a key changeup of their tendencies. Throw it to the fullback, throw it to the weak side. Have not done that at all.
Now, Jeff used to script plays, but he's gone off that, Terry.
No,
right?
he's like me. He gets about 2 or 3 done, and he throws them in the garbage can. Tommy will go 10 or 12 plays to see what the defense is going to line up in every different type of formation.
They're going to bring the sticks from the far side as you look at Jeff.
That was a pretty safe call then by Jeff, and a pretty smart call because he's got his brother over there on the other side. He said they never throw screens to their fullback.
get by with that. You know, sometimes when you have bad tendencies, as long as you know what they are, it's not too bad.
That's true.
But
So now it's decision time for probably the elder Bowden here. 4th down and about a foot. This probably isn't Jeff's call.
No, last week they went for it, what, 8 times and made it 7?
Made it 7. And Bobby said, dadgummit, we should have got that 8th one. He said he hasn't gone some seasons where he's had 8 of them and had 8 of them in 1 week.
That's so close. They've got to sneak it. They don't want to sneak it against Clemson because Clemson pinches. But that little, they got to do it. I can't imagine going anywhere but right at that defense in the middle.
Well, let's watch Chris Ricks and see if it is a sneak. 4th and inches. Big play early by both teams as the umpire backs out of the way. 4th and inches. Straight ahead. The quarterback sneak should be enough. When you only need inches, it was a nice job by Clemson to close the hole.
Yeah, that is something that they had seen that Ricks had done before. A lot of quarterback sneaks on 3rd or 4th and short, and they were ready for it.
They'll unpile. And they put it down past our yellow line. 1st down. So the 4th down is converted again. And now it's 1st and 10. Just inside the 16-yard line. Florida State in the red zone, 7th in the conference. They come out with 4 wideouts and a shotgun here. For Alfonso Thornton. The top target is to the top of the screen. They'll run the draw. And Washington trying to find a hole. Worked for about 2. Leroy Hill and Charles Bennett made the stop.
Both offenses, like both quarterbacks, have not really played well going into the season. Florida State's played 2 games. Clemson has played 3, and the quarterbacks nor the offenses have played well this season.
The one bright spot's been Washington and Booker last week, as you just saw Leon's numbers from a week ago. He got 2 there at 2nd down and 8. Now Chris Ricks comes out from under center. And it's the toss right side. Fullback trying to get a lead block out there for Leon Washington, but Clemson, great pursuit. They're fast on defense, and they stretch it out nicely. Hill's quite a player. One of the better linebackers in college football. 145 tackles last year.
You know, it's almost like I know too much. Spending hours yesterday with Jeff and hours yesterday with Tommy. They were 13 for 13 running out of 2 tights. There's 2 tights. They run it again. I would have thought, what a great time to neck it or something.
Here's another 3rd and 7. Play action. Ricks throwing to Reed. He overshot it. Would have been a 1st down, way high and out of bounds.
He just overthrew him, and that's on the quarterback. Maybe he had to throw it because somebody was in his face, but if they were, then you need to move around and find a lane to throw the ball because he had the 1st down.
Daviad Bethia will come in to try a field goal, and this one will be about a 29-yarder. On the season, he's 3 out of 5. From the right hash mark to try to put Florida State on the board first, following the nice punt return by Reed. The offense stalls, and the field goal unit scores. Daviad Bethia from 29 yards. Florida State at home with a 3-0 lead. Clemson will be getting the football back when we come back. First score of the ball game goes to the Noles.
Thank you for bringing me.
You look beautiful.
I've got an eligible beer in the cooler on Hector. Less taste, very unmacho. Replacing with great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Half the carbs of Bud Light. Wow. We've also got a disproportionately hot girlfriend. I will need further review.
Hi there.
I think I could.
Oh, please.
Hey, Tina.
Oh.
Miller, good call.
So, where are you going to go from here?
Probably the penne with meat sauce. Fettuccine with Alfredo.
I meant with your leg.
It's Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with new sauces like roasted garlic Alfredo and creamy 4-cheese marinara. Pick one combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Have all you want for just $7.95. Plus, of course, salad and breadsticks.
I'm in a really good place right now, Dad.
Only at Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
When you retire, will you be sitting here or here? Mutual funds from the Hartford, for people who are always thinking ahead. Ask your advisor.
You don't have to leave civilization to find adventure. The 245 horsepower all-wheel drive Nissan Murano.
It's here, the hit show Extreme Makeover Home Edition 2-hour premiere, ABC Sunday.
The soon-to-be 75-year-old Bobby Bowden on the left, already on the headset, and his 50-year-old son on the right, the head coach at Clemson. Crazy business. And we've got Terry Bowden in the booth with us. I tell you what, we got more Bowdens here than a family picnic right now. But we have.
I tell you, when somebody yells out Coach Bowden, like 7 guys turn around, you know.
So Bethia, who hit the field goal's got it teed up. Miller and Curry again. The dual set back there to receive. This one will be Miller from about the 3. Justin Miller's got a crease. Up the middle, got by the kicker, and might be gone.
He's gone.
They're not going to catch him.
No way. He's going all the way. This will be a 97-yard Clemson touchdown. Well, that's how you answer the first 3 points of the ball game. Boy, you could see that one open up, and then Bethia was the only guy in the way.
Well, he's done this before. He's run back punts for touchdowns, kickoff returns. He is an outstanding returner, and he just got Clemson right back in this ball game.
Jad Dean is the new kicker for Clemson, and he's got the extra point up and good. Well, that stuns about 83,000, except the folks that came dressed in orange. It's 7-3 Clemson.
Tommy's got a few trick plays over there in his hip pocket, but Bobby wasn't expecting this one.
Another look from the 3-yard line of Justin Miller, and he's going to come right at you.
I tell you, the blocking up ahead was tremendous because there was nobody around. You don't see a Seminole anywhere in that picture.
And if you're Clemson, I mean, you want big plays because you can't run against this team, third in the nation. They're top 10 defensively, so a kicking game play, a deep pass, it changes the whole complexion of the game.
So Clemson with a lead, electrifying their sideline.
Justin Miller is their starting right cornerback. He has 10 interceptions on his career, 3 punt returns for touchdowns. That's his first kickoff return for a touchdown.
And Chris Ricks getting ready on the sideline. Justin Miller, only he and Bobby Gage in Clemson history have had punt returns and kickoff returns for touchdowns in their career in Death Valley. Need to kick. Antonio Cromartie and Leon Washington back deep for Florida State. And a good kick it is, deep, way back in the end zone. Cromartie won't bring it out. Florida State will work from the 20 after we get an update from what's going on in the Big House. Here's John in New York.
Brad, it's the BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT, and in the Big House, Iowa strikes first. Ed Hinkle receives it from Drew Tate. The one-handed grab stays in bounds, so the Hawkeyes now leading the Wolverines 7-0. Brad, back to you.
Well, we talk about big games in conference play in late September. It seems early, but that one's huge in the Big Ten. This one's pretty big in the ACC.
The Hawkeyes are not intimidated going into that big house.
Now Florida State, after having great field position the first time they had it, have it at their own 20-yard line. Booker, the tailback now. Ricks comes up firing, or wants to, and down he goes. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. So right now the Sun has the lead on the Old Man, and we talked to Bobby Bowden about what this game means as soon as the kickoff happens.
Once the kickoff starts, that doesn't ever even enter the thing. You know, at least you go out there before the game and shake hands with a blood brother, you know, and all that stuff. And but once that game starts, it ain't Tawny, it's Clemson.
Or in this case, a blood son. 2nd down and 10. 4 wideouts with a nose. Chris Ricks steps up, fires out in the flat, completes it to Stovall. And he's swarmed under by the Clemson defense, but he got about 6. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
This defense for Clemson is very aggressive. They like to blitz. You mentioned Leroy Hill, the middle linebacker, and how much he likes to blitz and sack. So this should be a good opportunity for a quarterback to complete some passes, because if Clemson's going to put 8 guys up there to stop the run, I got some receivers on the outside that should be one-on-one.
Yeah, and it's not a man-free blitz. It's a zone blitz where the secondary plays deep with the blitz. The underneath routes are there.
3rd down and 3 here. Ricks with time, fires. Intended for Stovall. And Ty Hill with a nice play defensively.
But as we mentioned, this secondary, the 4 defensive backs are as a group, one of the best groups in the country. And these 2 corners, including Ty Hill, gets a jam. That's just good play. They're good coverage by Hill.
So Florida State's got to give it up. Chris Hall to punt. And Chancey Stuckey is back deep for Clemson. Nice high kick. It'll be a fair catch. And now collision down there. The ball is loose. I don't think it touched anybody. And it'll roll all the way down, and that's a loss of about 17 yards on the fact that his own man ran into Stuckey, the punt returner. So that's going to go down as a 55-yard kick. But so far, Clemson with a lead on a 97-yard kickoff return.
Polite society tells us that it's rude to stare. But then along came the 2005 V6 Nissan Altima. With a redesigned interior, a state-of-the-art navigation system and satellite radio, and a sleek, refined exterior. So go ahead, stare. Frankly, it'd be rude not to.
Learn more about spiders at spdr.com.
Now you can play all the Star Wars battles any way you want. Introducing Star Wars Battlefront, the video game. Now available. Rated teen.
I've got 3 studios in my house. This is where I do the watercolors. Out here, I like to work with acrylic. This is where I do my airbrushing. Here's where I work with oils. I put Max Life in there, and from one change to the next, you don't have to add any oil. No more leaks. This artwork's not for sale.
At $75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Nissan. Everything we touch, we shift, and everything we shift, we try to make better. The Hartford Mutual Funds, official corporate partner of the NCAA. Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. Capital One, no hassles, rewards. What's in your wallet? And AOL for broadband, proud sponsor of First and 10. As you looked at the statue of Francis Epps, founder of Florida State and Thomas Jefferson's grandson.
That was a great shot of him having a couple co-eds sitting next to him.
If only he knew.
Yeah.
First and 10, Clemson now. At their own 17-yard line. Their offense hasn't gotten anything going, but their special teams has them the lead. Whitehurst, quick throw, little wide out screen to the far side to Chancey Stuckey, and it only goes for a couple of yards. Florida State, Tommy, just so fast on defense, and they're starting to look like the kind of defenses your dad had a few years ago.
You're exactly right. They're a veteran secondary, but these young linebackers, they lost a couple last year, but they're unbelievably fast. Sims, Buster Davis, Nicholson, these guys are incredibly fast. They think they're younger, but even better than last year's group.
And Coach Steele, the linebacker coach, says as a group, this is maybe the best group I've ever been around. And he's been around some good ones in different places. Whitehurst loads it and fires. Completes this one to Dwayne Coleman, who got whacked after a pickup of 5 by Nicholson.
Interesting contrast between the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator, or the thinking of Tommy Bowden. Mickey Andrews is from the old school. He just says, I don't care if you know what I'm in. My athletes are going to play the coverage and going to play the defense, and we're going to stop you. Clemson is a team that lines up the line of scrimmage. They don't huddle. They just come out. They look around. Now Whitehurst looks to the sideline, and the coach in the press box is going to see what the coverage, the defense is, and signal down a play. That didn't bother Mickey Andrews at all, the defensive guy.
And it's going to be Whitehurst on a keeper, and it's a good call. He's a big physical kid, and he rambles out for 20 yards and a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, Tommy doesn't like to call it new school, but that's really what it is. He wants to put his offense in a position to counter what an aggressive, talented defense is going to do. And the box call is not about the 8 men in the box. It's about the coach calling the plays from the press box.
Tommy talking to the guys upstairs, and he'll relay it to number 6, his junior quarterback, Charlie Whitehurst, who put up huge numbers last year. This year has struggled a little bit, but he's looked good in the early going here. Nice play fake. Sets up in the pockets. Got a man open over the middle and got him inside the 40. Down to the 38-yard line, Kelvin Grant. And he put that one right on the money, a pickup of 18 yards.
I like Charlie Whitehurst. I was watching him before the ball game. And he is big, he's got quick feet, and he's got a quick arm. Not only a strong arm, but a quick arm. Watch him stand tall in the pocket, gets set, leads him. He's got good touch. Tommy has got some trick plays. He's just setting up those trick plays with some of these. He's across the 50-yard line.
Now they'll run Coleman sweeping the left side. Got around the first wave. He got a pretty good block out there from Chancey Stuckey, his wide receiver, and he got the corner turned and picked up positive yardage. Coleman's a guy that put up a good game against Florida State last year. He rushed for 50 yards and he caught 5 passes. He broke his foot in preseason practice back in August, and he wears a metal brace on the inside of his cleats, which kind of takes away some of his mobility, but he looked pretty good there. Second down and 2.
You got a trick play, maybe, Terry?
Well, no, I think they're right now trying to set up. This is where he's trying to read whether they're going to cover the bunch receivers. He can throw the bubble screen to the receivers or hand it off inside. He really wants to come back off that last running play and run that snap back down the sideline.
This time they'll try that quarterback draw again, and it didn't work this time, off the left. And no gain.
When you're sitting in your office watching film and tape and you're drawing up plays, you see everything except that front 4 rushing you.
Yeah, right.
Boy, that'll destroy a lot of trick plays and fun plays, that front 4. Because your offensive line don't give you time.
That changes the complexion of things quite a bit.
You got to start making those big defensive ends and big T's and big D's and those little X's on front to tell you what you can't do.
Clemson only 29% on third down so far this year. And they've got a third down and a long 2. This time they give it to Coleman. He's got the first and then some. Cartwheels down to the 22-yard line. First down, a pickup of 8.
They found that hole. That's the same hole the quarterback's been coming to, but this is not being run by the quarterback. Run by Coleman between that shade over the nose guard and that wide defensive lineman. That's a big hole between the guard and the tackle on the weak side.
Watch the right guard come down. Right there, he gets the block on Jones on the end. And that's a big first down to keep the drive going.
And they've got it down to the 23-yard line. Merriweather checks back into the backfield. Coleman gets a breather on the sideline. And it's a first down. Play action for Whitehurst. Rolls out, throws, and tipped and incomplete. Well, Tommy Bowden, like his dad, learned about trick plays from the master. He talked with us about it yesterday.
Now, if you can see.
Right now, we have to do them to be successful. Back my father early in his career, he had to do them to be successful. They're pretty good right now. They don't have to resort to tricks, trickery, deceit, and deception to be successful. We do, so we always try to carry some. They're a really aggressive team, and sometimes you can capitalize on their aggressiveness.
Tell you what, they were fun to watch, though, back in the early 80s when they had to go on the road to build this program and go to places like Nebraska and pull a trickery.
And the players enjoy it too. They enjoy practicing and they enjoy running them in ball games.
You see the play clock, and now a fumble. I think Florida State's got it.
That's huge.
Nicholson comes out of the pile with it. He's heading toward the end zone. It's been blown dead though back at the 23-yard line. Well, they had something going, but turnovers will kill you, and it just did there.
I'll tell you.
Watch the center snap. Sometimes when there is a nose guy on the center, his tendency is to snap the ball and want to block before he completes the snap. I don't know whether he ever had this football. I don't think he ever had it. It looked like Charlie may have been pulling out a little bit too. When the quarterback pulls out and the center is hurrying to reach block, the snap never gets completed.
Remember, Sharp is an undersized center, only 6 feet and about 270. And he's playing against some huge defensive linemen. He was trying to get out of the blocks in a hurry, and they never got the exchange.
Good point.
Now Ricks throws a sideline streak and throws it away. And he took a hit as he threw it. We'll check in with John in New York.
Grab the Taco Bell update. Mac Jones, quarterback for Arkansas. You want to see a guy who can move, rolls to his right, got nowhere to go, being hounded by 2 guys in the Crimson Tide. He just outruns them and gets it to the end zone for a touchdown. 6 yards officially on the carry. Arkansas leads Bama 7-0.
And of course the Tide playing with a brand new quarterback with their starter out to an injury. 2nd down and 10 here. 4 wideouts for Chris Ricks, who took a pretty good hit after he let go of that football on the first down. Back to throw again. Throws complete. Nice touch on the pass. Out to the 32-yard line, just a little bit short of the first down to Leon Washington.
I had my eyes covered, folks. I'm going to tell you, I'm not for anybody, but there were 2 guys all over him, and I don't think that back even saw it coming.
Let me tell the folks at home how this is. Terry is at the left end of the booth, and I'm at the right end of the booth. And after he threw that ball, I looked down at Terry, and he looked back at me, and we both rolled our eyes.
Oh, gosh. He makes some marvelous plays, but he makes some bonehead.
Oh, boy.
Terry is way over to my left over here.
He was lucky. He was lucky that wasn't picked off.
That's Terry's hands and glasses in your picture there. Florida State will take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 5:12 to go first quarter in Tallahassee. Clemson on the road, bloodying up Chris Ricks. They lead 7-3.
For a limited time, get our best deal ever. 1,000 nationwide anytime minutes for just $39.99. Plus rollover, only from Singular. You can look around all you want. You won't find a better deal anywhere. But this deal won't be around forever, so don't look too long. And now get this new Motorola camera phone for just $49.99. But hurry, this offer ends soon. 1,000 nationwide anytime minutes with rollover. Another reason Singular fits you best.
Apparently, somebody was up late last night. Make that somebody's. And that's okay. 'Cause if you work hard, you play hard. Right? Right. Just don't look in the mirror. Unless you're using Nivea for Men Revitalizing Lotion Q10. Q10 replenishes the coenzymes that your skin loses over time. So your skin feels healthy, firm, and fit. Even when you don't. Nivea for Men Revitalizing Lotion Q10. More evolved skincare.
Capital One.
Check your mail for the Capital One No Hassle Island giveaway. Look inside and see if you've instantly won your own private island or one of hundreds of island getaways.
What's in your wallet?
The best new reality show of the season is ABC's Wife Swap.
I never realized how much I love her as a mom.
A special sneak preview Sunday, 10/9 Central. Then an all-new episode on its regular night and time, Wednesday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Back at Doug Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Clemson leading 7-3. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and Terry Bowden, our special guest in. We're Bowden against Bowden here, and right now it's Tommy with the lead over Bobby, 7-3. And it's a third down and less than a yard for the Seminoles. It's a quarterback sneak again. And it looks like Chris Ricks got enough for the first down. Speaking of special guests, we got one with Swanee right now.
Yes, Chris Winkie. He's got a Heisman Trophy at home somewhere, and he came down here. His team is off this weekend. He came down for Thursday's practice. You watched a little bit. First time since the Orange Bowl. What were you thinking? What'd you see?
Well, it was nice to get back out there. You know, it's having watched it on TV and now coming and seeing it firsthand. I like what I see. There's a lot of talent out on the football field.
As they get set to run this play on offense, what do you notice about the way Ricks is playing this ballgame?
Well, right now it's still early. Obviously, we just got a big turnover. Hopefully, we can put a drive together here and put some points on the board. Give up a big special teams touchdown, that hurts. So it puts a little pressure on the offense, try to bring the ball down the field and score.
I know you're an aggressive guy. You'd like to just put this ball in the air a whole bunch of times.
I would have loved to see him throw the ball 4 times down there once we got in the red zone.
Right now, they're running the ball pretty good. Chris, thank you very much.
All right.
Leon Washington goes out for 12 yards and a first down. Chris Wenke, of course, part of the national championship team. One of 2 Heisman trophies over in the building to our left. He and Charlie Ward, the quarterbacks, who both won it for Bobby Bowden. And Jeff Bowden, since Mark Richt has gone to Georgia, obviously is Terry's younger brother, and he's been taking some heat about the offense for Florida State. We're going to show you graphically the fact that this number 16 probably didn't produce quite as well a quarterback as the one we just talked to on the sideline. First down at the 45, though, but Florida State's got something working after the turnover on the fumble recovery. Chris Ricks flushed, flags down. We're going to have a holding call, it appears. And Chris takes a shot at the end of the scramble.
Chris Ricks on the keeper. Sack is made by number 38.
Here's the call. Holding Florida State. So that'll back them up inside the 35-yard line. Here's Florida State's offense by years, as in 2000, 549. That was part of the Chris Wenke brigade, and then it's been Chris Ricks since. So I don't know if you've got different quarterbacks, if you can judge an offensive coordinator, if that's fair.
Well, I mean, that's one thing. I think you have to look at the Chris Wenke took them to 2 national championships. That was big, but you've also got to hope to bring some fullbacks and some tight ends into the offense that they don't have. That's a little bit of coaching where you've got to get better people to match your offensive style that they have now.
And boys, just as a little hint here, on that last scramble, Ricks came up limping. He's been limping the whole time, so keep an eye on him.
All right, we will, Swanee. It's second down and 18 upcoming. They're backed up to the 37-yard line. Here comes a blitz from the corner, but it's a running play, and Washington runs right smack into Leroy Hill.
Leon Washington on the carry.
The previous play is what Lynn was talking about, and I said Chris Ricks took a hit at the end of the scramble. Let's take a look at the hit. He plants his ankle, and it turned on him. Yeah, so it wasn't the hit. Yeah. It was his own ankle trying to make a cut, and it really turned out.
That's his right ankle. And it just he rode over on it and just sprained it a little bit. That's his plant foot. That's when he goes back and plants and steps up. So we'll see if that bothers him any.
Third down and long.
You keep thinking that's a screen down right here, but they gave the screen on the last 3rd and long. You think the defense would pick it up.
Safety blitz. Ricks throws. Rafonso Thorpe went up and couldn't come down with it. Boy, he got hit way up in the air. Showed his athletic ability getting that high, but he had his wheels taken out from under him, and it's incomplete.
Chris Ricks had a man right in his face when he's going to throw this. A blitzer, so he threw it high.
Ooh.
Well, I tell you, he comes down with that. That's an acrobatic catch.
Coming down without getting hurt's acrobatic enough. Ouch. Punting time for Florida State. Chris Hall to punt. Chancey Stuckey's back deep. This kick not quite as good as the previous one, but it's going to take a Florida State bounce again anyway, and it'll roll inside the 20 and roll dead at about the 18-yard line. And that is where the Clemson Tigers will go to work. Monday night, join Al Michaels and John Madden for a showdown between two of the most revered coaches in NFL history. Bill Parcells and Joe Gibbs, the Cowboys and the Redskins. Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC Sports. Head-to-head, Parcells has the overall lead, and he's won the last 6, but Joe Gibbs has more rings. And both of those guys, former Florida State assistant coaches.
Exactly. They were both assistants here, not together, but a few years apart.
Chris Ricks being tended to on the sideline. We're going to keep a close eye, as Swanee told us, on that ankle. They're working on it right now. Meanwhile, his counterpart, Charlie Whitehurst, out of the shotgun, again is going to run the quarterback draw, and again he's got good yardage. Cuts outside, puts his helmet down, and runs over the defensive back, Cromartie. That shows you Charlie's got 225 pounds behind what he's moving there, and he got his pads low and went for 19 yards.
I don't know if I want my quarterback lowering his head and trying to run over anybody.
I don't either.
I mean, I like the yardage that the quarterback picks up. Now get out. Just don't take this punishment right here, right in the back.
Yeah, Clemson's found a weakness of Florida State. That off tackle to the weak side, they've hit it with the quarterback and the running back, and they've hit it 3 times for long gains.
So first down for the Tigers. They've moved it out to their own 38-yard line. Browning now is in the backfield for Clemson as they continue to rotate their backs, and Charlie Whitehurst sets him up on his right side in the shotgun. Comes a blitz from the Seminoles. Whitehurst throws in that direction, and Chancey Stuckey makes the catch in front of Pat Watkins, but only a pickup of 2.
Last year up at Clemson, when Clemson won this game, I guess that's Chris Ricks' foot.
And there might be 83,000 people in here, but the most important foot is at the Florida State quarterback, and that means that Wyatt Sexton is warming up on the sideline. He played considerable amount last week, but that's because they had a comfortable lead. Here's Whitehurst, keeper again, and Nicholson got a piece of him.
Be a little option. I was going to comment on last year when Clemson won this game. Charlie Whitehurst had an outstanding game up at home, and that's the thing that Bobby Bowden was a little bit concerned about, how he was going to play. And I think so far this game, Whitehurst is playing really well against a very good defense.
Charlie was 17 of 27, 272 yards, a touchdown in the air, and he ran for one as well. He's been running quite a bit here today. 3rd down and 8. Delayed blitz, screen pass should be a good call. Coleman with a blocker. I don't think he got there, though. He had a lot of ground to cover, and he's going to be about 1.5 yards short. Our Nissan drive summary for Clemson. The first 2 times they've had it, they had to punt, and then they had a good drive going, and they had a bad exchange between the center and quarterback, fumble it over to A.J. Nicholson.
Of course, in between those 2 drives, they had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
That's why they're ahead 7-3.
That's not on that graphic right there.
A 97-yarder for a touchdown. Now Cole Chasen, the sophomore out of Roswell, Georgia, set to punt, and Willie Reed, a Georgia native himself, is back deep. Both these teams get a lot of kids out of the state of Georgia. He just barely got that one away. And it goes out of bounds. And where are they going to spot it? Way up. Man, it's going to walk it up near the 30-yard line, about the 28-yard line. So only a 26-yard punt. Because winning was everything, he lost it all. ESPN Original Entertainment presents Hustle, starring Tom Sizemore as Pete Rose. It premieres tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN HD, and presented with limited commercial interruption. For more info, log on to ESPN.com. And it's Wyatt Sexton who will come out to play quarterback now for Florida State. And he gets a big hand from the hometown folks. When you're the backup quarterback, you're always the most popular guy in town.
Well, they all love you.
He makes one mistake and they'll turn around.
He hasn't made any mistakes yet. Yeah.
That's right. 1st and 10 from the gun. Sexton throwing a deep out, and Crefonzo Thorpe, did he keep a foot down? Out of bounds.
The quarterback let him out of bounds. He was open, but a little bit too soft on the out. He needed to rip it in.
Chris Ricks, I think, is heading to the locker room. He is.
And you got to remember about Wyatt Sexton, who's the backup. If they thought he was better than Ricks or that they had a better chance to win, they would have started him. They still feel their best chance to win is with Ricks. But it's kind of exciting to the fans, I think, to see a young new quarterback, son of assistant coach Billy Sexton.
Billy's the running back coach here. Chris Ricks, there's his numbers early as he looks on. Wants to see one more play before he hits the tunnel down there.
Chris may have had a thought, yeah, you'll miss me when I'm gone.
That's
right. See how the other guy can do.
On 2nd and 10, the other guy again throws too wide, this time for Stovall, who made a diving attempt in front of the Florida State bench, but it was incomplete. Last week, Bobby Bowden was asked about Chris Ricks and the fact that he was booed at times at the quarterback spot. This was Bobby Bowden's response to the media following that game.
Them PlayStation All-Americans up there that think they know football because they happen to see a television game be like me watching Dr. Kildare and think I could operate on a brain or something. He didn't let it's really about that silly.
Now, for those of you who didn't see Dr. Kildare, I was about 5 years old when that show was on.
That was great.
I think if Bobby would have said ER, everybody would have caught it. Here's Stovall, and he's got a first down.
I love that. That's just...
Bobby said to us yesterday, do you reckon they didn't know what I was talking about Dr. Kildare? That was an old Richard Chamberlain movie. That's 100 years ago.
That's putting it where the fans under how they'll understand it.
He's got about 100 players thinking that must be his family doctor or something because they have no clue.
He got the PlayStation thing right there.
Yeah, that's good.
At least he wasn't talking about pinball machines.
I'm impressed that he knows what PlayStation is.
Exactly. There's about a dozen of them sitting around his house, I promise you, with his grandkids.
Oh, boy. First down, Florida State. Nice throw. Stovall picked up the first out at the 44-yard line. As they got 15 yards on 3rd and 10. Now on 1st and 10, draw play to Booker. Booker weaving around. Got a blocker out there. Across midfield, puts a move on it. He's got possibly another first down. And that's what Booker gives you that's a little bit different than Leon Washington. He gets in the open field and he knows what to do with it.
He's got a little of that shake and bake. He can make something when nothing is there.
And they're going to take a look at whether or not it's a first down. It's the last play of the first quarter. That part we know. So Florida State at the end of one at home where they almost always win. Right now they trail 7-3. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
This BCS Classic moment is presented by Citi. The 2004 Orange Bowl pitted intrastate rivals Florida State and Miami in another classic. The game proved to be a defensive battle with Hurricane running back Jarrett Payton rushing for 131 yards and Tyrone Moss scoring the lone Miami touchdown. In the final minute, Florida State missed yet another field goal in this series, giving Miami their 5th straight victory over the Seminoles.
What is it? Cubism. But what is it? Reminds me of us. See this up here? Supply chain. Over here, management. Down here, distribution. Purchasing, payroll. I feel tension. Conflict. Pain. Different systems, different types of data, and yet they all work together.
It looks like a horse to me.
When everything works together, that's on-demand business from IBM.
Relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, because so much is riding on your truck tires. Want this great new bobblehead? To order, go online at michelinman.com.
This kind of cop has made lots of enemies.
Goes around, comes around.
Taste some karma.
Now it's payback time.
Somebody's coming after me.
NYPD Blue, the final season, Tuesday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
So Tallahassee's own Wyatt Sexton is the man that's on the board and on the spot. Chris Ricks injured in the Florida State locker room, and now the sellout crowd looks at the backup quarterback who'll bring his troops up at the Clemson 46-yard line. Those are his season numbers today included now. He had the nice pass to Stovall that got him good yardage earlier in this drive. First down, Florida State at the Clemson 46-yard line as we start the second quarter. Quick throw, Thorpe. Only about a 3-yard pickup. Nice job defensively by Ty Hill. You know, Ty Hill, when you look at him, you look at Aries Curry, and you look at the guy who was just guarding, Crefonzo Thorpe, those might be the 3 fastest guys in the ACC.
Yes.
All 3 of them are track guys. All of them have won either 100, 60, or 200-meter dashes in their time in school. Dual sport athletes, and there's some guys out there that can fly.
Yes, they can, and also Stuckey.
Exactly.
Stuckey's in that group also.
Second down along 7. 4 wideout grouping for the Noles here. Sexton in trouble, and down he goes. Bobby Williamson came around from the backside, and it's a 4-yard loss on the sack.
Sexton is not as mobile as Chris Ricks. This is his problem. He's got to find the open receiver. This is the formation that their best formation. They've got a covey of receivers. They've got backs that run well in space and veteran linemen. But your quarterback has to be able to get it to the right person, and Sexton especially cannot scramble because that's not his bag.
Chris Ricks, the quarterback, is one of the faster Seminoles, sub 4.5 as a quarterback, and Sexton isn't.
And Ricks is in the locker room probably now getting an x-ray on that ankle, and if it's all right, he probably will come back out, tape it up, and see if he can go again. 3rd and 12. Sexton over the middle to Booker, and Booker's all wrapped up. They actually lost about a half yard on that pass play. Anthony Waters, the outside linebacker out of Lakeview, South Carolina, with a stop. Well, this Clemson defense is definitely fired up because they've got the starter out of the ball game. I don't know whether they feel like that's a good thing or not a good thing, but I'll tell you one thing, Ricks gets most of the snaps, probably 70% of the snaps in practice, and Sexton only gets the rest of them. So.
And what Clemson likes is there were 4 verticals, and there was one of them open, but he took the safe throw. Being a rookie in there, he took the safe throw. That's what Clemson liked.
Hall to punt. Off the side of his foot and out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So no return. They didn't have to worry about Justin Miller, but it was not the kind of kick that Chris was looking for. Coming up Monday Night Football. Should be a good one. Alan, John, and Michelle will be there for the showdown between Bill Parcells and Joe Gibbs. The Cowboys and the Redskins. Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC Sports. You're going to want to hang around at halftime on Monday night's Dallas-Washington game. You can find out what happens when NFL players go to outrageous lengths to pull hidden camera pranks on one another. Season premiere of You've Been Sacked, and this week, I'm afraid it's all-pro wide receiver Torrey Holt in a tutu.
That's a halftime, huh?
That's halftime.
All right.
Charlie Whitehurst throws a strike. And a first down at the 38. Aries Curry took a big hit, but he held on a pickup of 13.
Well, Curry's the guy that has the speed, and if he can hit him on a slant and Curry might break a tackle, Curry on the outside, number 1, that's Cromartie.
If he doesn't make that hit, it's off to the races. And he hit him so hard he knocked his shoe off. Curry goes out to get relaced on that spike. And here's the short snap, little trick play there with Whitehurst having his back turned. And Merriweather goes for maybe 3 yards. Now that's one you don't see very often. Your quarterback turn his back on his center.
And I heard that one last night. What he's supposed to do is turn to the sideline and act like he couldn't get the play call, and they direct snap to the back while the defense thinks that the quarterback is getting a box call from the band. It didn't quite fool everybody on the defensive side.
Watch the quarterback walking away, and they go ahead and snap it to the short man.
Good for just a couple of yards. Second down and 7. Whitehurst realigns his troops from the shotgun, rolling to his right and throwing on the run, and throws a beautiful pass to Curry again. And that's a first down, Clemson in Florida State territory at the 47-yard line.
Very nice. I like get outside the pocket. Don't have your quarterback stay in the same place all the time. Throw from the pocket, throw short, throw deep, quick, long, and sometimes roll him out. Get it like a little dash. Get him outside the pocket. Curry just runs a little curl to the inside That's a nice play. Good mix-up.
Clemson back in Florida State territory. Whitehurst 7 out of 10 throwing the football. Looking very sharp at this point. Plenty of time left on the play clock. Here comes a blitz. Pump fake one way, going deep the other. Man wide open. Oh, just off the fingertips of Janzi Stuckey.
Now that's the trick play. He faked the slant on the weak side to draw the safety up. We've got to see that one again, Bob, because this is the play that we talked about where he fakes the slant into the boundary, brings the free safety towards the sideline, and hits the deep ball. Had him wide open.
This is exactly right. Watch the safety here. When he fakes this way, the safety is going to move here, and he's going to throw it back the other way. Watch the safety. See the safety move? Now he's got what he wants down the middle. He just didn't hit him.
No, Charlie Whitehurst is killing himself over that one. He's a perfectionist, and he knew he had a touchdown, and it was about 2 feet too long for his wide receiver. 2nd and 10. Whoa, what a hit by Buster Davis. That's why they like him at the middle linebacker spot. He's not the tallest, but he'll bring it. Whew. Kyle Browning felt the full effect of that one.
Little blitz by the middle linebacker. He's just going to shoot right up through the gap.
Wow.
Who's supposed to block that guy?
Look out block there.
3rd down and 12. The crowd coming up for the defense here, trying to make it difficult on Charlie Whitehurst and the Tiger offense.
Florida State go to 3-man line.
Whitehurst pump fakes again. Now he's throwing deep. He's got a man again. This time, and out of the hands again. Kelvin Grant, that would have been a touchdown too.
You can't throw it any better. You just have to make the play.
Well, you know, Clemson was not going to run for first downs too much against this great rush defense. They had to hit some big plays, and they just had 2 wide open big plays. They're always one play ahead right now of this very, very good Florida State defense.
Kelvin Grant on the sideline knows what he let slip away. You can tell by the look on his face. Charlie Whitehurst knows that he had 2 touchdowns there on that drive, or would-be touchdowns. Bad snap on the punt. They get a kick away anyway, and it's going to go in the end zone for a touchback. So Clemson had something working there. Couldn't quite get it to pay off, but they still have the lead with 10 minutes, 18 seconds remaining first half. Tigers lead the Noles 7-3.
To go the distance in life, it takes persistence, performance, and strength. The same qualities that have made Pacific Life one of the largest life insurance companies in the nation. With Pacific Life by your side, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
Hi, Dad.
Payoffs. Just one more thing to love about Outback, where you can enjoy favorites like our Kick and Cyclone chicken and our fresh Royal Port catch. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game, and here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit! But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown! Give him a touchdown!
Who are you? I'm at 0. You know, 0% rate for 72 months. Why are you in the cage? Oh, I'm a locked-in rate. Shouldn't there be a percentage sign in there? He's on break.
The unprecedented GM 72-hour sale is here. That's 72 months of locked-in 0% financing on any 2004 Chevy, Pontiac, Buick, and GMC. Hurry, you only have 72 hours. Sale starts September 28th.
Oscar winners Tom Hanks and Helen Hunt, Castaway, tonight on ABC.
Cole Chasen does a nice job on this snap. He had to take it off of one hop. Jeff Rigsby says, I never wanted my name mentioned ever. He's the long snapper. And of course, he had a bad snap in the Georgia Tech game that cost him probably the ball game. And there Tommy Bowden's talking to his punter saying, good job. I'll deal with the snapper. You just deal with the football. So here's Wyatt Sexton now at the controls again. If you're just joining us, Chris Ricks was injured. We don't know the severity of his right ankle. He's in the locker room. And Wyatt Sexton is running the show now. No gain for Leon Washington on that play. Florida State, their drive summary so far, they got a field goal.
They had the ball on the opposition 26-yard line and only got a field goal. The next 3 possessions, they've had to punt.
And their scoring drive before Bathia's 29-yard field goal was only 14 yards in 8 plays. So the offense has struggled for Florida State so far. Their longest play is a 14-yard pickup today. Second down and 10. They go back to the I backfield behind Sexton. Clemson looks like they're thinking about a blitz. Sexton to throw. And he did catch it. Just in front of the first down sticks, Willie Reed.
Yeah, what you've got outside is most of the time on first down or second and short, you're going to get man-to-man coverage on the outside. If the quarterbacks for Florida State can just play pitch and catch with some of their skilled players on the outside, they should be able to get something done outside.
Yeah, they were 1 out of 4 on first down, so that's the second time out of the I formation they'll be able to complete that ball.
Let's see how they do on 3rd and a yard. Washington broke the first wave and almost snapped it out of there. Nick Watkins was holding on for dear life, or Leon might have been off to the races. At the conclusion of our game today, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. At Doak Campbell Stadium, I'm Brad Nessler. My partners Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our special guest Terry Bowden on hand in front of a sellout crowd on a sunshine, warm, mid-80 day. And we know a lot of you that are watching around the state of Florida are bracing for bad weather again. We're certainly thinking about you. We're kind of lucky right now in Tallahassee that it's okay here. Bobbled snap by Sexton, and it cost his team about 3 yards as Washington's dropped for a loss by Bennett and Fountain.
Hey, Brad.
Here comes Chris Ricks.
Yeah, Brad. Ricks just came back out in the field, and you can see his right foot is heavily bandaged. He went into the locker room. We're assuming they took some x-rays, but obviously they checked his ankle out. They've got it heavily wrapped up, and as you can tell by the look of that, he is not going to have a great deal of mobility in that ankle.
And remember what Bob said, that's his plant foot. And every time he tries to do that, he's going to have visions of what turned on him on that scramble earlier. Here's Sexton. They're going to bury him. Clemson brought everybody. And Jamal Fudge is the man that come up with a sack. 3rd sack of the day for the Tigers.
Watch from the bottom of your screen. The linebacker and the defensive back both get in there.
Leroy Hill on a little stunt to the outside, and coming from his safety spot, Sexton had no chance.
If he stays in there, that young quarterback, they're going to give him all that stuff right there to make sure he reads. There, it was covered, but maybe you just need to throw it away and don't lose 3 or 4 more yards.
And now he knows he's got a 3rd down and a mile, and he's going to talk it over on the sideline with his coaches. We'll take a timeout as well. 7:12 remaining in the half. Chris Ricks, will he return or not? We might find out when we come back.
Did you fill up the tank?
The new Silverado half-ton crew has more standard horsepower, more torque, and more towing capacity than Ford or Dodge.
It's never happened.
Chevy Silverado, an American revolution.
You know, some people don't think what we do is a sport. That's because you can't get hurt doing it. Otherwise, you have that insurance. What insurance? What? Come again? The one that that pays you cash. If you're hurt and can't work.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Guys?
No way.
Yeah, I got us on the Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan, so we can talk to each other as much as we want.
And it's got in, so you can talk to your friends all you want to. Really? Awesome.
Hey, group hug. Okay.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan, and now the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer from our national in-coverage area. Plus, buy one LG 3200 for $29.99 and get one free.
Give me a call.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
From the capital of Florida, ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American Revolution. The New York Stock Exchange. The world puts its stock in us. Miller, there's good enough, and then there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. Allstate, a proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series. And AOL for broadband, proud sponsor of First and 10. And right now, Florida State wishes it had a 1st and 10 because it's got a 3rd down and 16 upcoming. And Chris Ricks, who came out of the locker room, as Swanee showed you there, heavily taped right ankle that he turned in the 1st quarter, and his backup Wyatt Sexton now in some heat here on a 3rd down and long in the shotgun.
I mean, you got a young quarterback. Don't be afraid to run the draw and punt with this young guy. That's a lot of yards to get in your own territory.
He'll try to throw, maybe. Down the middle, incomplete. A lot of white and orange around where that football landed, and Florida State's going to have to punt it away.
You just didn't want to make a big mistake there. That was the 4th time today. They had 3rd and 10 or longer. You're not going to make 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16 very often.
No, it seems like they've had 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 15. They haven't had anything in between. It's either feast or famine with that offense.
So Chris Hall again to punt near his own 15. Stuckey will wait on this one and get out of the way as Cromartie is the first guy down there on the special teams, and they'll down it at about the 28-yard line. So Bobby Bowden, 343 victories, #1 all-time Division 1A. And yesterday afternoon, this was the scene outside Doak Campbell Stadium. All the Bowdens, there's Terry, Tommy, and everybody's here. And this was the unveiling, and there is the new statue of Bobby Bowden outside Doak Campbell Stadium. He said when that guy was doing that, he said, I kept, every time I saw it, I went up there, I said, scrape a little more off that tummy there. Get a little bit, got him a little bit thinner there.
Yeah. And he also said to the sculptor, said, now, don't you finish that unless you talk to Ann.
Yeah, you got to talk to Miss Ann.
Miss Ann's got to come by and approve everything.
She looked at all the pictures. And at the 35-yard line, 1st down for Clemson. They'll run inside Coleman and no gain. Swanee?
Well, you know, the coach didn't want the statue, but they said we could raise about $3 million, coach, for scholarship funds if you do this. And one way they're going to do this is that they're developing this bus. Now, there'll be the number of busts to equal the number of wins. So should he win this game, instead of 343, there'll be 344 busts with the game, the opponent, and the score and the date it was played. Now, they anticipate this trophy will go for as much as $5,000. So nice for the kids to get it home.
No doubt. And I would imagine those 2 championship years, those would be a little pricey.
Yes.
Chauncey Davis with the sack on Whitehurst. 9-yard loss on this one.
Davis, the defensive end, is going to get after the quarterback. I think he comes from the left side. Number 94, nobody touches him. And he says, oh, that's a gift sack right there. Stumble, nobody blocks me, I can sack you.
Chauncey Davis, who backed up Kevin Emanuel last year, former outside linebacker, showing that kind of speed on that play. Here it comes again. Whitehurst going deep into double coverage. And it is broken up, incomplete. Cromartie and Watkins are back there. And penalty markers down in the backfield. And there's one down where the contact was made at the end of the play, too. So let's see what we've got. Charlie Whitehurst is pleading his case. And here's the end of the play as the ball got there. Did it get there before Watkins got there? That's the question.
No, I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Meanwhile, there's one in the backfield. And unless it's roughing the passer, you would assume it's going to be holding, but I guess we'll just wait for Jack Childress, and he'll tell us.
We have pass interference, number 13 of the defense, and we have a personal foul, number 72 of the offense. That penalty's on set.
Roman Fry, the right guard, with a personal foul against Florida State, so we'll do it all again.
You know, we talked about aggressive penalties, foolish penalties. Good teams quite often have plenty of penalties. That's a foolish penalty on an offensive lineman, a personal foul in that situation.
So now it's 3rd down at 18.
Roman Fry is an offensive guard getting a personal foul, so he's probably taking a punch or a shove at one of the defensive linemen.
That's the only accepted penalty of the ball game so far. 5:40 left in the half. 3rd and long for Whitehurst and the Tigers. Charlie steps up, and now the ball is loose. Hit from behind. Florida State's got it. Eric Moore made the hit on the quarterback, and they've got their 2nd fumble recovery of the ball game. Penalty markers down as well at the end of this play.
Florida State aggressive defense, causing turnovers, helping set up stuff for their offense.
So we're going to unpile everything and find out about the penalty.
There was a fumble during the down, then there was a dead ball personal foul by the defense. That takes the ball half the distance to the goal. First down, number 65.
Number 65 is Cedric Johnson, the left guard. So the right guard and the left guard aren't guarding very well.
Here's Moore over here on the right side. Watch as he's going to get into the inside of the offensive tackle. Then right there knocks the ball loose. And this is what Florida State has done forever. Defensively get some turnovers. Great field position for the offense.
It's 1st and goal for Florida State after the walk-off on the personal foul inside the Clemson 10-yard line. Booker, the tailback, in the eye. Sexton comes out from center again, takes out his mouthpiece, calls the play, and back under he goes.
You got single coverage outside if you want it.
A toss to Booker. Booker trying to get to the corner. Cuts back inside. Nice moves inside the 5. All the way down near the 2.
They feel with 2 tight ends, they can put a blocker on everyone instead of having the 2 wideouts and the 1 tight end. They put 2 tight ends and balance it up so they can put a hat on everybody. And of course, Booker's got the speed to get outside and back inside.
And I think you go the conservative route here too, Terry. You've got your backup quarterback in there. He hasn't played a lot. Let's just make sure we can run this thing in and not take a chance on an interception.
2nd down and goal just inside the 3. Booker again. Well, he might have gotten one more out of it. Maybe, maybe not.
I will say this, though. If they kick the field goal, it's going to be a bit of a moral victory for that defense because they were put in a bad situation there. If they can hold him now to another field goal before this half.
Well, you got that right, and that's why the pressure is on this call.
Right.
It's 3rd and short. You know, do you run it or do you pass it?
3rd and 3. It's almost got to be a.
Is this 2-down territory though when you're Bobby Bob?
No, you kick the field goal if you don't get any.
We'll see if you're right about that. Maybe we won't have to think about it. We won't. Touchdown, Florida State. It's B.J. Dean, the fullback. Big hole and a big guy that went through it. B.J. Dean for the touchdown. Only had to go 9 yards in 3 plays after the fumble recovery. Chris Ricks giving his offense a tap on the helmet as they come off, and he can only look on with a bad ankle. Xavier Bethia in for the point after. They try to give the Noles a 3-point lead. Extra point is up and good. So turnovers proving points for the Florida State offense. B.J. Dean, 260-pounder, put his head down and gave the Noles a lead.
Despite genetic similarities, siblings often harbor tension between each other. This can result in provocation against the older counterpart. But these are merely attempts to discover his place in the family. Cobalt, the new commotion, coming to the Chevy family.
Love this spot. Pop? Yeah, son? There's something I gotta tell you.
What? I've got unbeerman-like conduct on Timmy. Giving Dad a beer with less taste, that's a loss of respect. Inheritance, decline. Replacing with great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. Half the carbs is Bud Light. We've also got unoriginal tattoo on Timmy, tribal armband design, attempting to fit in. Play beer.
Miller. Good call.
So what floor do you live on?
I live down the hall, 22B.
Are you the guy in the corner apartment?
Yeah.
You should really think about closing your blinds.
I'll keep that in mind. Hey, we're moving. Good thinking. Pass the Tostitos.
We should do this more often.
Everyone loves a great crunchy taste of Tostitos scoops, and with a bite-sized bowl shape, you get the perfect dip every time.
So you see everything?
Yeah.
Right.
And now, look for our new blue bags.
Mayday, Mayday!
ABC's Lost is being called the best new drama on TV.
If you see anything,
he's coming.
Right. The #1 best new show.
Go, go!
An all-new Lost, Wednesday, 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
Florida State fans happy now. Their 11th ranked Seminoles lead by a field goal. Just a short drive after the turnover. As Clemson, both their turnovers in their own territory. Florida State has all 10 of its points on a short field. The first time it was Willie Reed with a punt return that put him in good shape for Bathia's field goal. The last one was the fumble recovery, and subsequent 9-yard drive is all they had to go to get the touchdown by B.J. Dean. So that's where we stand at 10-7 with just over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Justin Miller has the only score of the day for Clemson, a 97-yard kickoff return, and he is back at the goal line with a Reese Curry waiting on Xavier Bathia's kickoff. There they are. This one could be returnable. It's Miller from the goal line. Let's see if he can go 100 yards. He might be able to. Oh, he fell down. Had only one man to beat. He might have had another one.
He had it.
Old Wolfat, the mysterious tackle man out there, got him.
If he keeps his feet, I think he's got it. And he knew it.
Yep, he does. Pacific Life game summary. Well, this was Justin the first time. 97 yards for the touchdown. Chris Ricks with his right ankle turn, sent to the locker room. And then Clemson had some near misses of their own, including what would have been a touchdown pass to Kelvin Grant. Perfect throw from Whitehurst, but Grant couldn't hold it. We're going to get an update on Chris Ricks after this play of Charlie Whitehurst as we're going to go down to Swanee. Here's the throw, and it's intercepted. This is going to be a touchdown. Leroy Smith. Nobody's going to get it. Charlie Whitehurst would give anything to get that one back. Leroy Smith read it like a comic book and took it 41 yards for a touchdown.
7 picks coming into this game, but most of them were not his fault. Deflections. This was all on the quarterback.
Well, Kelvin Grant is the guy that's running the route over there. I don't know if he didn't run the route well or what, but he's the one that dropped the ball a little earlier also.
Extra point is up and good. Florida State has scored 14 points in 18 seconds.
And their offense has not been involved that much.
That's right.
It's the defense and the special teams that have really put those points on the board.
And there's Chris Ricks again, congratulating everybody. The defense this time as they come off the field with a touchdown.
This is your market. It's your money, your hopes, your dreams, your future. Our goal is to provide the fairest, most liquid market with new ways to trade, A commitment to unsurpassed quality and the best price. So no matter who you are or how you invest, we're invested in you. The New York Stock Exchange.
The Rose Bowl. New Year's Day, 100,000 fans will pack this place. Impressive number. Allstate has their own impressive number, 1 million. That's about how many drivers switched to Allstate last year. Enough to fill 10 Rose Bowls. Why? Many of them saved an average of $278 a year. Now that calls for a parade. Championship insurance for less. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
When the Navy sought a power source for a new generation of ship, we had the right energy. When the nation called for better hurricane forecasting, conditions here were perfect. And when a life-saving cancer drug was in short supply, we had the right chemistry. How fast do ideas move? At the speed of imagination. Florida State University. Ideas that move.
Florida State's third interception of the year is good for a touchdown from that young fella. Leroy Smith, 41 yards. Charlie Whitehurst, the quarterback, with his 8th interception of the year.
This is Clemson's most dangerous play right here, it looks like.
Justin Miller looked like he had what it took to go 100 yards last time. I think Bethia says, I'm going to pop this thing up. We don't need another one of those. And Clemson will have to fair catch that kickoff at the 34, right at the 35-yard line. And a penalty marker down at the end of the play.
Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown. Here's the receiver over here on the right side. It's just single coverage, and the cornerback just does a nice job of cutting in front of him.
He squatted on it, and the quarterback has to recognize that and sail it right over his head because he can't pull off of it. He's got to sail it right over his head out of bounds.
Personal foul, contact against the fair catcher. That's 15 yards for the dead ball spot.
Wow.
First down.
That's going to give Clemson the ball at midfield as they call a personal foul on contact on the fair catch that was taken at the 35-yard line. And so they walk it right out to the midfield stripe. And that'll give Tommy Bowden and the Tigers some good spot to work from. And here's another look as Barry Wright comes in. It wasn't a big hit, but Ben Hall's the guy that made the catch at tight end. So it's first down from midfield.
Clemson's offense has turned it over the last 2 times. Whitehurst with a fumble and then with an interception.
Here comes a blitz. Whitehurst keeps it. He's got some open room inside the 40, the 30, and down to the 27-yard line. That's been their best play all day.
And they have not been able to adjust to it. Florida State can't adjust to the offside tackle play by the quarterback or the running back.
Here it is over here to this side. Watch as he's just going to go between the guard and tackle. That's the weak side, little fake draw. The tackle goes out. The guard takes him out. That's just good play for him so far today.
The ground game for Clemson came in ranked 91st in the country. Charlie Whitehurst is probably going to be their top rusher. He's got 3 rushes of 19 yards or more already today. Stuckey on the end around now.
Got protection.
Oh, did he take a wicked hit at the end of it, though? B.J. Ward said hello, and they're still talking. Ward, who's been battling some injuries of his own, he's a good one when he's healthy, and he's getting closer.
This is huge for Clemson right here.
Another little trick play, little
Merriweather with the flip.
Hand off, a little flip reverse. This was set up pretty nicely, but it just took a little bit too long to get around that corner and allowed Ward and some of the other guys from the Seminoles to get back over there.
And then you saw Stuckey get earhold at the end of the play. First down inside the 15-yard line. Merriweather inside. Tough sledding in there as he got about 2. Sam McGrew, the middle linebacker, in on the stop. Mickey Andrews has got 6 or 7 linebackers. He'll run at you. Nicholson, Davis, and Sims started, but right now Nicholson, McGrew, and Picayune are out there. There's Mickey, longtime defensive coordinator, his 21st year here at Florida State.
This field position is not because of the kick return, but the failure to be able to cover it and have the fluke kick gave them field position.
Second down and 8. The ball just outside the 12-yard line.
Again, Whitehurst looking over to the sideline. The coach checked off to this play. Took the pressure off the quarterback.
Play fake to the end zone to his tight end. Couldn't get there. Nice job defensively. Jerome Carter, the safety, stayed with him. He's given away some size there, but he just couldn't get Ben Hall out of the way. Coming up on the Valvoline halftime show, John and Craig and Aaron will have highlights and analysis from today's big games. It's coming up in a little over 2 minutes.
And Bob and Brad, just a little update on Ricks. They did x-ray that ankle and it's not fractured, but on that turnover for the interception and touchdown, Eric Moore twisted his right ankle. He has not been in one play on this drive.
And he's not in there now either, Swanee. Thanks. 3rd down and 8. Clemson really needs a score to try to swing this thing back a little bit in their favor. Whitehurst to the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. A perfect strike to Curtis Boeheim.
Mickey Andrews is furious with his defensive back. You got to see him just chewing out. Either that or the official. Does he feel like there was a pick?
As a big play by Charlie Whitehurst to come down after 2 huge turnovers, to come back like the good player that he is and lead him to a touchdown.
Tommy Bowden and his staff have said, as much as a perfectionist as Charlie Whitehurst tries to be, when he does make a mistake, he has a nice knack for just putting it in a corner somewhere and forgetting about it. And he did on that drive, and he's got Clemson right back in the ballgame.
Mickey Andrews there has got to be concerned because the receiver was wide open, either busted coverage, or let's see if it's a busted coverage or a pick here.
He's just going to run a little slant into the end zone, and he's expecting some help because he stays outside. Look at the relationship. He's right here. He's expecting some help in the middle of the field and doesn't get it.
They took the slot receiver, double-teamed him, and that left number 18 wide open. Touchdown.
Well, you can't get it any easier than that. And there you go. Ward was supposed to be in the middle. I'll guarantee you.
We know who it is now. 24. We saw him jump up on the slot receiver with a hitch.
B.J. Ward is a free safety, and that's where free safeties are supposed to be.
BJ right now stands for bad job as far as Mickey's concerned.
He's been an outstanding player for Mickey and this team for a lot of years. He's had some injury problems and has not played a lot so far this year.
Great kick blocker. He'll be back out there, maybe make a big play before the day's over. Reed and Cromartie are back deep, waiting on Dean's kickoff. Speaking of Deans, our own spotter Clint Deans had a major birthday this week. We wish him
Nelly, I'm going to tell you. How much was it?
He's an old one. He's halfway to heaven right now.
There you go.
Here's the kick. And it's a good one. And Cromartie will one-handed 8 yards deep, won't bring it out. So Florida State will work from the 20-yard line. Time now for our Aflac trivia question this week. The Clemson season record for most points per game is 37. Who was the head coach? We'll give you the answer a little bit later on. Speaking of congratulations, we want to congratulate the Aflac Duck for making the Walk of Fame, along with some other great.
Slow week, huh, Brad?
Yeah, well, the M&M Candies made it. The Pillsbury Doughboy, Mr. Peanut, Tony the Tiger.
There you go.
And our Aflac Duck, all in the new Walk of Fame. We congratulate them all. They're all still alive and well, too.
Yeah, that's good. Some of the other ones that didn't make it are not.
The M&Ms keep changing colors, though. That's a problem. Here's a give. Leon Washington. And he got out to the 25. And we're under 2 minutes. 1:39 and counting here.
Well, what that score did by the Tigers is put a little pressure back on the offense for Florida State.
Yeah, because you would say, okay, with a 14-point lead or a 10-point lead, I can go out there and keep my young quarterback in, give him some experience. But boy, you don't have that two touchdown lead. Now you're back down to 7 to 3 points and not 10 points. And I'm a little bit less likely to want to throw the ball down here with the young guy.
So timeout with 1:35 remaining. Reminder tonight on ABC's Saturday Movie of the Week. Tom Hanks and Helen Hunt star in Castaway. That's tonight at 8, 7 Central right here on ABC. And the volleyball. What was the volleyball's name? Wilson, right?
Yes.
Wilson, I think, actually was up for Best Supporting Actor for that movie. It was a great flick. That's coming up tonight on ABC. Right now it's Florida State and Clemson, and we're about 1:35 from the Valvoline halftime show. John and Pony, and Aaron will give you all the scores and highlights from earlier games and what's going on right now. There's Wyatt Sexton's numbers on the day. In for the injured Chris Ricks. And as Swanee told you, Chris's ankle, the x-rays proved negative. But that doesn't mean that his mobility is going to be what it needs to be to play in this game. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, tight ball game with a relatively inexperienced quarterback out there in Wyatt Sexton.
Yeah, Ricks was 3 of 8 for 22 yards before he was injured. So not a lot of passing by Florida State. And we thought that if you were ever going to throw against a team, this would be the team that you're going to throw against, because they always try to stop the run. 8 guys in the box, and the outside is where the strength is for Florida State. That's where their talent is.
They've missed those early routes. 1 for 4 on first down early in the game.
Here's a little pitch to Booker. Booker, nice open field tackle as he crossed the 30 out to the 33. Jamal Fudge again with a hit, number 24, the safety out of Jacksonville. But Booker picked up a first down.
You got that right. That was a good open field tackle by Fudge. As I mentioned, this secondary for Clemson is a pretty good one.
Booker, one of 5 Californians on the Florida State team.
Be a good time to take one deep here. Get you a chance with 1:19 seconds left. Maybe stick one down the field.
Just don't make a mistake, though.
Single coverage on both receivers on the outside.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Booker again. And maybe a yard. Well, he might have fallen for a little more than that, but that's about it.
You're right, Brad. They're not going to do it. I don't think they're going to put that pressure on that young quarterback right here with the defense that Florida State has.
See Bobby Meeks and those guys with a few shoves after the play. No penalty, though.
Brad and Bob and Terry, I got to tell you, pregame warm-up, before everybody got in the field, I was out in the field with Wyatt Sexton. He was throwing passes to his little brother, Taylor, high school kid. He was throwing down, and he says, I'd love to get in the ball game just once from about this distance, and he heaved one into the end zone to his little brother. Should have been caught for a touchdown. But this is a moment in the pregame warm-up he said he wanted to have.
Well, here he's got it. Play action. Going to throw the deep out, and got it. Over to Crifonzo Thorpe. And it's going to be short of a first down. Ty Hill, again, the corner over there, speed covering speed. Ty's a junior out of St. George, South Carolina. And he's the 60 and 100-meter champion in the Atlantic Coast Conference. That's going to do it for the first half. Good first half. Big game for both teams here in the ACC. The late touchdown drive by Clemson gets them right back in it. They go 50 yards to score the touchdown and make it a 3-point ball game again. As Chris Ricks on the run, but a little bit hobbled. Let's go down to Swanee.
Well, Coach, unfortunate injury to Chris Ricks. Wyatt comes into the ball game. Any idea what you're going to do to start the second half?
Well, we'll have to, you know, looking at what they did last year, and you build what you see on what they saw last year. And last game, now, well, they've changed it a lot. Now, we got to go in there and see what we're going to do against the changes. I think it's a big thing.
But with your quarterback, if Wyatt stays in there, does it limit your offensive game plan? Or
No,
do you have the same exact game plan?
we still will do the same things. I've got to go find out how Chris's ankle is. And if it don't, Chris, we'd stay with the quarterback we got, Wyatt.
Coach, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
All right, so Bowden is
got back in the ball game. Charlie Whitehurst is a good player. He just needs to eliminate some of the turnovers. That's like a leading rusher in the ball game, Charlie.
Terry, coaches go crazy on turnovers. It's been the story of the ball game so far.
It sure has. Florida State, though, you've got to make halftime adjustments. They have not attacked the field vertically with more than 2 receivers, 3 and 4 receivers vertically. Give them a chance for a big play and take away the weak 5 tackle gap on defense. They're giving up all that
So it
yards.
sounds like a coach in the press box, doesn't he?
We're going to find out more about how Chris Ricks is doing. Let's go down to Swanee.
Well, I have to check up on Chris Ricks in a little bit, but I was talking to Tommy Bowden coming back out here, and Tommy says he's going to continue to move the ball down the field, give his quarterback a chance to take shots down the field, because he says we've been hurting ourselves. He says it's a drop passes, it's a mistakes here and there. As far as that little play, a combination of plays they have off tackle, he says the reason why those plays work well is because Clemson's players match up extremely well with Florida State's defensive personnel and taking advantage of their speed. If those defensive linemen are going to continue to be aggressive and move upfield, they keep making separation between them and their linebackers, and then he can find the seams for his running back or for his quarterback to move up the field and pick up 5, 10, and 15 yards, Brett.
Boy, and he's done that really well in the first 2 quarters. We'll find out about the Florida State quarterback right from the get-go, because the Noles will get their hands on it first. Jad Dean to kick. Leon Washington and Antonio Cromartie wait on the other end. And this is Cromartie, and again he'll have to take a knee. Nice kick again by Dean for Clemson. So take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Statistically, in the first half, there's just really not a lot there, and most of Clemson's 150 came on their last drive.
Yeah, the three turnovers is the thing that jumps out at me.
And the 14 points off those turnovers. It is Wyatt Sexton at quarterback. So Chris Ricks' day may be already done. Booker is the tailback in the eye as the Seminoles work from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, if Chris Ricks was able, I think he would have been in the ball game.
I do too. Booker trying to spin outside, and not this time. Anthony Waters, the outside linebacker, made the stop. Florida State's offensive leaders, as we throw that pass back over his head. Wyatt Sexton, 5 out of 8 for 33 yards. Washington did a pretty good job on the ground, and Stovall the leading receiver.
But it's been the defense that's really set up. They've had short fields to go to score their touchdown and their field goal, and then they had a touchdown on an interception. So offense has really not done much. Less than 100 yards of total offense.
Comes a blitz on Sexton, throws the slant, and it's complete. But I tell you what, they are not giving Crefonzo Thorpe enough room to breathe out there.
Yeah, and that has been there a lot during the day on running downs. Thorpe just, that's not a very good route. I mean, you gotta burst off the line and run a slant. I mean, that's just, Lynn Swan would not like that route, partner.
Lynn Swan does not like that route.
Third catch for Thorpe, but only for 16 yards. 3rd down and 3. Both receivers to the near side, and they'll go the other way on the ground, and they get the first down just barely. Booker, and now Chauncey Stovall mixing it up with Ty Hill a little bit in the secondary.
You know, I can't stress enough how much of an uphill battle Florida State faces with this I formation. No real plays to the tight end or the fullback. It's either run the ball inside or throw it to the wideouts, and it's just frustrating because there's not a lot of offense you can get out of that formation.
You know, Howard Schnellenberger said a long time ago that if I can throw and catch with my tight ends and my fullbacks, I can move the ball right down the field and score a touchdown. And that is what Florida State does not have. They don't throw the ball to their tight ends, and they don't throw it to the fullbacks.
Booker inside, just got a couple. We talked with your brother Jeff about that very thing yesterday, Terry, and they're trying to put an emphasis on that in the future about recruiting and trying to get those kind of guys.
Torrance Washington was the fullback that was going to be able to do it. An NFL-type fullback who could throw and catch. They lost him for the year. They've got a linebacker playing first-team fullback, a walk-on playing second-team fullback. But the point is, you've known you're in the I formation for 4 years. You've known you're going to be an I team. Got to have more of those big league type fullbacks in your program.
That's Coleman that's in there right now to fullback, the up man in the eye, and a 2nd down and 9. Clemson sneaking up there, bringing some pressure on Sexton, and incomplete. Out on the far side, Willie Reed. Fans wanted interference on Ty Hill. Ty Hill's not giving much out there today.
Well, you got 8 and 9 guys up near the line of scrimmage stopping the run, and you got single coverage on the outside. That's just a poor route. Did you see a Ty Hill breaking to cover him before the guy even got into his route? He's either reading the route or he's reading the quarterback. They ought to run a little out and up.
Well, you're exactly right, because the defender knows, because Tommy knows what Florida State does, that they're going to break the route off unless they get too tight. So they're playing just tight enough to guarantee a good route.
Here comes a blitz on 3rd and 9. Sexton trying to throw a screen, does. Coleman's got a head of steam. And there's the fullback on the screen pass. And it works for a first down to pick up the 14.
They must have been listening to us down there on the sideline. But that is the one play they put in, the weak side screen to the fullback. They hadn't shown it. That's twice today they've hit it. Twice they've made big yardage from it.
Right over here, just a slide. You know, tendencies are so good. We've been talking about it. They know they don't do anything with the fullback or the tight end, so they're not worrying about him. Get the ball to the fullback a little bit.
First down now as they move it out to their own 47-yard line. 7th play of the Seminole drive here in the first 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Sexton pulls up and throws. This one's complete. Short gain. Got about 3, maybe 4. Out to Chauncey Stovall.
Wyatt Sexton is in the catbird seat, at least for a game.
Right.
Because
the honeymoon wears off in a hurry, though.
Exactly. But they all wanted the backup quarterback. Now he's in there. Now they give him a honeymoon because, well, you know, he didn't get enough practice time. He can do no wrong. If he didn't play well, they would still give him a break after this ball game. So he knows that he's kind of like he's out there surfing on a big on a big wave and of emotion, and he can't do any wrong.
Boy, there's a big wave coming at him, and he got the pass out.
Bob, you called it. There was the out and up, the out and up, and it was wide open. Quarterback didn't have quite enough time to do it out of bounds.
Travis Pugh came with a pressure, number 29, the senior safety out of Manning, South Carolina, and that altered the pass. That's for sure.
That will drive coaches nuts. When you see something, all right, if you're going to do that, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run a stop and go, a little out and up, and they get it, and they don't hit it because they don't have time to throw it.
They picked up a 3rd and 3 and a 3rd and 9 so far on this drive. Let's see how they do on 3rd down and 7 at their own 49. Seminoles with a 3-point lead here in the 3rd quarter. Screen pass again. This time it's Booker, and Booker's got a first down. He's exciting out in the open field. Got 9 yards on 3rd and 7. They'll move the chains.
Clemson is so aggressive defensively. They're rushing the quarterback and covering the wide receivers. They just got to look for those screens. And the screen pass has been the best play for Florida State all day.
Well, it's because, again, they haven't thrown vertically downfield. They haven't gone ahead and throw the deep ball to inside receivers in the 4-wide outset or to the outside receivers in the 2-wide outset. These cornerbacks are very, very good one-on-one coverage for Clemson.
And penalty marker down in the Florida State backfield. Maybe an illegal substitution.
For 12 players, 5 yards, still first down.
Well, that's what Jack Childress is trying to tell us.
I think he said it. We just didn't get it.
Yeah. So 12 guys out there, and that'll back Florida State back up into their own territory.
And that's not, usually that's not intentional when you start off with 12 guys in the huddle. Usually it's a mistake.
Especially with the type of formations Florida State's running. They're not running 3 and 4 different formations full speed.
Actually, Florida State still in Clemson's end of the field of the 47 after the walk off on the penalty. Play action. Sexton's going long sideline. Stovall's out there. Got him. Touchdown. And that's how you extend your honeymoon a little bit longer. Longest pass play for Florida State this year, and the first touchdown pass of the year is young Wyatt Sexton.
Wyatt Sexton, a quarterback at Leon High School right here in Tallahassee, the same place his dad was the touchdown with the quarterback many years ago, Leon High School.
That'll give him a huge shot of confidence. Zaliad Bethia coming in for the point after to try to give the Seminoles a 10-point lead. Stovall with a celebration penalty. We apologize for Jack Childress' microphone. I think we can can that for the rest of the day if it's not going to work, because we know what he's talking about. Anyway, Stovall with a celebration penalty. So number 15 costs his team number 15 by over celebrating, but that'll be after the extra point. And it's up and good. So a 47-yard touchdown pass has the Nole fans doing the chant and the chop. They're up by 10.
There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us.
those in the academic, medical, and cultural fields whose work serves the greater good, we serve you. TIAA CREF, Financial Services for the greater good.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
He was fine, and then he just stopped eating.
This man is completely full. What was he eating?
The spicy chicken burrito.
He kept going, sound. Are you sure? And fullness off a value menu?
It's the new Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in authentic Mexican spices. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
It happens in every NCAA football game. An interception or a dramatic touchdown. One play changes the outcome. Now we're giving fans a chance to pick the Pontiac game-changing performance. Join me on ESPN to hear our predictions and watch the games. Afterward, go to ESPN.com/Pontiac, see the 5 biggest game-changing performances, and vote for your favorite. Then watch Thursday's halftime show to see which school will receive a $5,000 general scholarship contribution from Pontiac.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint, while a woman keeps track of millions of dollars in inventory, safeguarding it from the warehouse to your house. And a dad checks on his business from his son's baseball game. What do all these people have in common? They rely on America's #1 security company, ADT. Always there.
It's here, the hit show Extreme Makeover Home Edition 2-hour premiere, ABC Sunday.
In that huddle on the right is the running back coach, Billy Sexton, and you know right now he's proud of the kid on the left, his son, who just threw the touchdown pass. No time to think about it or celebrate about it now, but I'm sure later on when the ball game's over, if Florida State wins this, there'll be a little family celebration. Billy, a longtime member of your dad's staff too, Terry.
Been there since the beginning. Leon High School locally, and went to Alabama, transferred back to Florida State, and has been here throughout my dad's career at Florida State. Done a great job.
So Bathia's got to kick it from his own 20, and this should give Clemson a chance to return, and they've been good at that when they can get their hands on it today. This one they will get their hands on. Justin Miller went 97 earlier. This is from the 15-yard line, and he breaks into the second wave again, still on his feet, and he's out.
Lost
about the 48-yard line. 34-yard return, did part of it without his equipment down there.
Yes, he did.
You got to go back to that celebration, though, that give them an opportunity to be in midfield right now.
15-yard penalty forced him to kick from way back, and this kid's a good returner, and
sure
the special teams, the kid's up front blocking, and that just goes to coaching. That tells you about the staff and how much time and effort they put into this.
Yeah, it's definitely coaching when it comes to putting a hat on a hat or beating a hat as a kickoff team.
Remember, Clemson only had to go 50 yards late in the second quarter for their touchdown. They're 51 yards away right now as Whitehurst goes complete to Aries Curry on the outside. And we're under 11 minutes in the third quarter. Aflac trivia question. The Clemson season record for most points per game is 37. Who was the head coach? Do we take guesses?
I'll take a wild guess.
And say?
Heisman.
Okay. Swanee?
Well, I'm going to say Tommy, because it'll be in honor of Terry being here that his brother's part of the Aflac trivia.
I'm thinking that back when he had Woody Dantzler at quarterback about 3 or 4 years ago, they put a lot of points on the board, so I'll go with Tommy. Terry, what do you think?
I'll be diplomatic, say Charlie Bell or Danny Ford.
Okay. We'll find out in a second here. Yeah, he gets 2 choices. That's because he's a guest here with us.
And that's because I still think it's fun.
Down the sideline, Dwayne Coleman. Nice run by Coleman. And the Aflac trivia answer, 37 points a game.
Look at that.
John Heisman.
Well, that was
head coach in 1900.
It was a wild guess.
Good job.
Thank you very
Bobby.
much. Do I get that countdown for me?
I don't know. They said before the game there was going to be possibility that
I ought to do that. I ought to do that more often.
I'm checking your phone records.
He had to know the answer.
I ought to do that more often.
Yeah.
I think that should count.
At the 38-yard line, Clemson's got a first down. Whitehurst fumbled again. This time I think his offensive lineman got back on top of it.
Now he says it was an incomplete pass. Although I don't know about it.
I don't either. Would have been a loss at 13. Let's take another look.
Was trying to throw the ball out here, and the receiver wasn't ready.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Now that looks to me like that's a fumble. And no question, the ball comes out of his hand before his hand is even trying to throw it.
So the Tigers get a break. That looks like the old Tom Brady tuck thing. I still think that was a fumble. I'm talking about Tom Brady's.
And this one.
So do the Raiders. Second down. 10-point lead. Clemson trying to close the gap. Here comes a blitz from the corner. Whitehurst incomplete. Nice job defensively by Pat Watkins, number 22, the safety.
Yeah, that's a case where Florida State knows that when they blitz at a particular area, they're going to hawk a certain guy. They're able to blitz from the left side and defend the one guy they know Whitehurst is going to go to.
Now a big third down for Mickey Andrews' defense.
Mickey does a great job. He's always fun to talk to every time we come to Florida State, and we always enjoy sitting down and talking football with Mickey.
Third down, Whitehurst loads it, goes long. Intercepted by Cromartie. Cromartie looked like the intended receiver on that one.
Now where does he spot the ball there?
He intercepted it, but his momentum carried him into the end zone.
They're going to spot it.
They ought to spot on the 4 because his momentum carried him in. Yeah, this is a good call and a nice play by Cromartie.
It's at the 4.
Yeah, that's a good call because his momentum carries him into the end zone. He gets it where he intercepted the ball. That's a good player right there.
Charlie Whitehurst struggling today.
Well, wait a minute, guys. He needs to get a little help from his receivers now, remember?
That's right.
And his receivers should have knocked that one down.
That's Cromartie's second interception of the year. And now Florida State's got to start basically in its own end zone. At least that's where the two running backs are in an I formation. The second one is Washington, and he only got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Now, if you're Tommy Bowden on the sideline talking to your defense before they went out, you know, this is not bad. I mean, we threw an interception, but it's like a punt. We got them backed up inside their 5-yard line. Let's go in and maybe take it away from them, or at worst, force them to punt. 3 plays and punt, we'll get the ball right back.
This is going to tell you a lot how much Florida State feels and the confidence they have in this young quarterback right here.
Yep.
It's going to be hard to get a first down unless you break something off. This is the down to throw it, if you're going to throw it, because third down is going to be a little more predictable.
And you don't think they're going to throw any screens from out of here.
A lot of coaches will not throw it backed up like this as much as they will throw it going in. Too many bad things can happen if it just gets tipped in the air or something right now.
I think they're trying to keep the Clemson band from playing over there while Florida State's trying to snap the ball. Or blowing a whistle in the stands.
But I like what you said, Brad.
Yeah. Well, they had a problem in a Wisconsin game earlier this year where the band was playing behind the opposing team's bench and they couldn't hear anything, and they stopped them from playing whatever it is.
It'd be a great time to have the tight end throw it to the tight end. Would be a great time.
They're going to toss it to Washington. Leon still on his feet. He almost got a first down. He might have it. Twisting and turning for that extra yardage. I think he's a little bit short still. Bring up third down and a couple of feet.
You know, if that timing would have been better, it could have been some big stuff. There's going to be a toss just over here, but what I want to show you is the hole. If he would have been through the hole when it was there. Look at this. Look at the hole that's there. If he was up there where the tackle is, I mean, of course, the fullback didn't get the block, but the timing just wasn't right there. The execution was there, but the timing wasn't.
Now he puts both arms around the ball and blasts for all he can. Penalty marker flies in. It would be a first down run, but you would assume that maybe we're going to have a holding in the middle of the pile.
It was thrown at the line of scrimmage, and there's Clemson pointing on Florida State.
And there it is, holding on Florida State. What's it mean when Bobby's on the headset? There's always talk about whether he's talking to Jeff, suggesting to Jeff What do you think, Terry?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's on the headset for a reason. He wants to make a suggestion. Of course, right now you've got now a 3rd and 15. There's not much you can suggest right here except play it safe, play it safe. Your defense is too good to make a mistake on 3rd and 15. Now, if you don't worry about being backed up, it's that screen play, and they've run it a few times. You got to ask, will they do it again?
When we talked to your brother Tommy this week, he said, I got one guy that all he does is get on the binoculars. When I see Daddy on the headset, I know what's coming.
I formation. My dad reverts back to the late 70s and early 80s when he suggests a play.
Dr. Kildare was already canceled by then. Right. It was already canceled by then.
Dadgummit, Jeff. Oh, run that sprint draw.
And they're going to be in the shotgun here. Sexton will be near his own goal line when he throws this one, if he indeed throws it. He's going to be in his own end zone. There's the screen. Washington, that one not going anywhere. Clemson stayed right with it. Trey Tate, the tackle, easing out there. Nice pursuit by the big junior out of Gaffney, South Carolina.
Good job by John Lovett and his defensive people for Clemson. Now if they can just rush the punter a little bit, get some pressure, force the punt, get good field position, and continue that drive that they threw the interception on a little while ago.
Chris Hall's got his back foot right at his back line in front of the pylon there under his own goal post. Tough place to punt from. And they got it. It's blocked out of the back of the end zone.
Well, give me 2 points, and then I'll have you punt it again.
C.J. Gaddis with the block.
It wasn't even close, boys. He took it off his foot.
So Clemson tacks a couple on. 24-16 now. Here's another look.
This side over here.
Number 12 comes free out of the end zone for a safety. And as Bob said, he'll be doing it again on a free kick when we come back. Clemson's added 2 to the board.
Drinks before lunch?
Water's fine for me.
Water for me too, but with lemon, please.
I'll have a Sam Adams, please.
Make that 2 Sam Adams.
Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
Learn more about spiders at spdr.com.
You know, we could just go to FedEx Kinko's. They've got copying, printing, shipping, all the latest technology. And there's always one around. Just a thought.
The new FedEx Kinko's. Make it, print it, pack it, ship it. Our office is your office.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Hummer. Check out the H2 Hummer like nothing else. Pacific Life offering insurance, annuities, and investments. FedEx Kinko's, your one-stop for copying, printing, and shipping. Bacardi Silver Limon Premium Malt Beverage. Flavor your night. And AOL for broadband, proud sponsor of 1st and 10 from Doak Campbell Stadium. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Clemson after they take this free kick that'll be upcoming from the 20-yard line following the block punt. C.J. Gaddis, member of the Clemson baseball team too, and he had 3 stolen bases this year. He just stole one right off the punter's foot here.
Yes, he did. Second man in from the far left. That's just a breakdown. The Florida State was fortunate that the ball went out of the end zone, and Clemson didn't recover it for a touchdown.
Now Bethia, much like he had to after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Stovall, has to kick from his own 20-yard line. And again, this should give Clemson good field position on the kickoff on the free kick. They'll field this one at the 14. Justin Miller. Miller again has an opening. Took one earlier for a touchdown. He might have another. Justin Miller down the sideline. One man to beat. They won't get it. 86 yards for a touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Just in time. Wow. What a game this kid's having.
Well, the special teams for Clemson is doing an outstanding job because he hardly has to maneuver getting through the field to get down and score the touchdown.
If you're going to come into a Florida State as a big underdog and win, this is what you've got to do. You've got to win special teams, big plays, things like this to put the game back in your favor. It's exactly what Clemson has done.
Clemson's going to go for 2 to try to tie it up. Big swings and big plays by the special teams. Here's a 2-point conversion. Whitehurst looks to the sideline. Now he comes up momentarily under center and backs back out. He's got the trips down there in the bottom. And he's going to try to run it in. And did he get there? I don't think so. Boy, he was very close. Jerome Carter just wouldn't let him get away.
That's early. Not making that does not matter. We got 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter, so let's go back and look at that touchdown.
Justin Miller, the man of the day.
There he is here. Watch ahead of him all the holes that are open. Look at this. There is nobody around. Normally there's people all over the place.
Reese Curry, #1's out there looking for Bethia, and he just ran right by him. But he stayed with it, and he got a piece of the last guy that had a chance.
Well, Bob and Brad, when you got a return like this, a lot of it is just pure timing. The time it takes him to get the ball, get up to the point of attack, let those guys hit a quick block and open it up. Every time they've had a return this afternoon, their timing has been impeccable.
Well, Swanee, I was surprised that Bethia kicked it off of a tee because that was a low-line shot that he caught the ball and had a nice run before he got to anybody, rather than punting the ball.
Yeah, but they're doing a very good job. He might have done some other things there, Bob, but one of the things is that ball wasn't kicked down the middle of the field. It was kicked to the side. They're forming that return wherever the ball goes and just doing a great job of making sure they block, and then the runner is at the point of attack at the right time. It opens up, and he's just gone.
Yeah, regardless of all those things, it's a huge hole every time. There are a lot of things Florida State is not doing right because it's not a little gap. It's a gash. It's a big gash.
Dean to kick. This should be returnable for Florida State. Little indecision. Cromartie swipes it at the 6. And he'll get out near the 25-yard line. You know, in the second quarter, we told you at one point, Florida State had scored 10 points in 18 seconds. Clemson special teams just scored 8 points in 12 seconds. They blocked the punt, and then they ran it back for a touchdown. A safety and an 86-yard free kick return for a score. And as you saw for Justin Miller, the 2 touchdowns on kick returns ties the school record. And I tell you, he almost had a third one. Remember when he tripped himself up?
Yep.
Boy, we'll be looking at a little history. 7:25 left third quarter.
A long time to go, partner.
Yeah, we do. Sexton throws to Stovall. And Gaddis, who blocked the punt, is the guy that wraps him up and pushes him out of bounds.
Well, they may be just setting Gaddis up for that little hitch and go, because that's the only thing that's been working for him.
Yeah.
You know, a little hitch and go and then throw it deep. Little screen pass and then deep throws. Ricks went out early in the ball game with a sprained ankle.
Well, 2nd down and 3 here. And motion. Or was it delay? Flag anyway, and they'll walk it off against Florida State.
You know, the Florida State coaches, offensive coaches, felt like the most. Let me go back.
Number 62 of the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Niblock, the right guard, with the penalty. Next Saturday, we're going to be back with more ACC action. Most of you will see #4 Miami in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. That's where Bob Swanee and I will be. Others will see Michigan, Indiana, or Colorado, Missouri. Next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern. Check your local listings for the game in your area. As you look down the line of scrimmage and out of the full field, Sexton in the shotgun on 2nd down and 8. Draw play. Booker trying to keep on booking, and he does. Spins inside across the 40. I tell you what, in the open field, he's like trying to grab a bowl of Jell-O.
You mentioned earlier, this kid a couple of years ago out of California was the hottest thing going. Came all the way to Florida State. As you mentioned, 5 guys on this team from California, and every one of them is good.
You remember signing date where he stood on ESPN. He was about to put that Notre Dame hat on. They all thought he was going to Notre Dame. He switched and put that Florida State hat on. It shocked Ty Willingham.
Well, he's waited his turn around here. I mean, he's a redshirt sophomore. This is his 3rd year here, so he's just getting his first chance to play.
Florida State 1st down with a lead by 2. Sexton, plenty of time, throws high, incomplete.
But let me say this, that's a rhythm throw where he takes 5 steps. What you have to do is not throw the ball, but you must zing it way up into the ground. I'm hoping that's what he was thinking, because it's a timing route.
I wasn't complaining about the throw. I was looking at the route and how quickly the corner jumped on it. If he would have tried to complete that pass, it would have been 6 the other way.
And remember, that already happened to Whitehurst on the other side earlier in the ball game. So 2nd down at 10. Chris Wenke looking on from his vantage point on the Florida State sideline, watching the young, inexperienced Wyatt Sexton at quarterback in for the injured Chris Ricks. Sexton throws. Boy, that would have been dangerous too. Leroy Hill almost walked right into an interception, the middle linebacker.
There's
6:39 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and now he looks like he's a little shaken up. Clemson's special teams have kept them in the ball game. Their mistakes at times look like it would have taken them away, but in front of 83,000 on sun-drenched Doak Campbell Stadium, soon to be Bobby Bowden Field later on in November. I'm Brad Nessler with Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our special guest Terry Bowden as we watch Bowden versus Bowden for the 6th time. Last year, Tommy finally got one over the old man, and Dad's trying to repay the favor here in Tallahassee this afternoon, and he leads 24-22. Here comes a blitz. Rafonso Thorpe isolated out there and tackled in the open field by Justin Miller. Miller doing a little bit of everything, isn't he? Defensive captain.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's a good player.
And now Sexton continuing to look like he's shaken up.
2 plays ago, he really got drilled.
And he's limping a little bit.
Earlier on a 3rd and long, he did the same thing, though. He had the inside receiver open on a straight, wide open route. He hit the safer throw, but it wasn't going to get you the 3rd and 10. It would just get you the half yardage.
Chris Hall's last punt was blocked, remember. That one was in his own end zone. This time he gets it away, no problem. Stuckey with a fair catch call right at the 20-yard line. So Clemson's got the football back, and they're only down by 2. 5:54 to go, 3rd quarter. Both Florida State quarterbacks feeling the heat today against the Clemson Tigers.
This is our house. Everything you have trained for your entire life has prepared you for this moment. It's us versus them. All I want to talk about is how big they are, and that this is the year they knock us off. Well, when they come in here, they got to play our game in our house, and nobody beats us in our house. We must protect this house.
To go the distance in life, it takes persistence, performance, and strength. The same qualities that have made Pacific Life one of the largest life insurance companies in the nation. With Pacific Life by your side, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
I have a pair of twins, so they have 2 mouths, twice the decibel level. I'm also a 6th grade math teacher, so I get this all day long. I commute 75 miles a day, and this is my refuge. Before I put Max Life oil in the engine, it was noisy. Put in Max Life, peace and quiet. Hey guys.
At 75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
The best new reality show of the season is ABC's Wife Swap.
I never realized how much I love her as a mom.
A special sneak preview Sunday, 10/9 Central. Then an all-new episode on its regular night and time, Wednesday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Back in Tallahassee, Clemson takes over at its own 20. Down by 2. Whitehurst looking to run, and he loses about 5. And shoved out of bounds by Pickion, the outside linebacker. Charlie shaking his head. Clemson today has had turnover problems. If they're lucky, they're still in the ball game. Bad exchange, center to quarterback, and the quarterback fumbles, being hit by the defender. That one led to a touchdown, and he threw an interception, and Leroy Smith took it 41 yards the other way. And then the last pass intended for Curry, Cromartie picked off in the corner. That didn't cost him anything, though, because Florida State had to punt. And actually, Clemson got 2 out of that. Been a kind of a weird game, but a good one. Oh, you don't want your quarterback taking those kind of shots either.
Well, they had him high and they had him low.
Let me tell you, he's going up against a pretty good defense. Probably one of the top 5 defenses in the country. They give Chris Ricks problems and some static against Miami. Miami's, you know, you go against Florida State defense, you go against Miami defense, you're going to get knocked around and battered and bruised, and you're not going to come out looking too good.
Florida State had 14 tackles for loss against Miami, 17 against UAB. That's unheard of in 2 games.
You really got to be careful here. It's 3rd down and 13.
Blitz.
Whitehurst throws it away. He said, "The heck with this. This one's not going to work. Better to live for another series and punt it out of here." So Whitehurst can't get anything going that time. Good job by the Florida State defense.
Good job by Florida State defense for sure.
Now their punter, Chasen, is not going to be in the best of spots.
And remember, their snapper rolled it back last time also.
He did. And that's Willie Reed saying, "Just give me a chance." He had a nice return in the first quarter. Here they come. He got the kick away. Reed from the 44. And down he goes. Nice coverage by the Tiger special teams to get down there and make the stop. Still good field position for Florida State. We'll see what they do with it after we check in with John Saunders in New York.
Time now for the Pontiac game-changing performance update. And Aaron, it's your week.
Wake Forest quarterback Corey Randolph throwing the 40-yard zip to get the big win over BC. Remember, John, this is the 2nd straight year that Wake has pulled off a victory over BC in the last 2 minutes.
Boy, we thought Boston College was a pretty good-looking football team, but Coach Grove with a big win today.
Yeah.
And at quarterback, Wyatt Sexton still in there despite what appears to be a bad back. It's going to get worse right here, I think. Well, he gets what he can. Got about a yard. Let's take a look back at the reason. It looks like Wyatt's kind of moving around gingerly. Watch this hit.
This was a little bit earlier on that previous drive and right on his back.
So the helmet and the chest didn't feel too good, but the landing was even worse.
Well, boys, he wanted to be a quarterback, and he wanted to get in there, and he's been the backup guy preparing. But one thing you can't prepare for is that kind of shock and then having to go back in the ballgame.
Got that right. 2nd down and 9. From the shotgun. 4 wideouts for Sexton. Throws it down the middle and completes it. Dominic Robinson. And he's got a 1st down.
Yeah, this drive started on the 45-yard line. When they exchanged punts, they picked up 21 yards. That's like hitting yardage that you never see, but a good punting game, a good kicking game will do that for you. Looking at his receiver the entire way, Robinson in the middle of the field. Just don't fumble the football.
Another one of the Californians we talked about. Robinson has moved it down to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. 3:45, 3rd quarter. Florida State by 2 points. Sexton with plenty of time this time. The Stovall inside the 40. Whoop! And he runs over Justin Miller. Good little lick at the end of the play. Stovall's a good size receiver, 6'2", about 215. You'll see what he does at the end of this one. Takes Justin Miller with him. Time permitting, remind you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. John and Craig and Aaron will have scores and highlights from around the country. Second and short. Washington trying to break tackles, keeps his feet down the sideline. He might go. Leon Washington, touchdown.
Leon Washington for the
Now it's just becoming who's going to make another big play. That time it's the tailback for the Seminoles.
Clemson had him in the backfield, could have hit him for no gain. He breaks a tackle. Everybody's bunched up inside, and he's gone.
Washington with the power first and then the speed. Capping a 54-yard drive in just 4 plays. Bethia in for the point after they try to make it a 9-point ball game.
And Brad, not that there's ever a problem for an offense winning scores, but the only problem here is they got to kick it off.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's the only problem. Justin Miller probably get his hands on it again. Extra point is up and good. 3:20 remaining third quarter. Florida State adds to its lead on a touchdown run by Leon Washington. 31-22 Noles.
I wish we could play in there.
Well, what are you waiting for? Come on, let's play. Not bad. A couple rookies.
Hey, where are you going?
Gotta go. See ya.
A tradition of excellence, then, now, and always.
Tell you what, fellas, nice little combination in the Florida State backfield. Booker gives you a little shake and go, and this guy runs over you and still has enough speed to get to the end zone.
They got 2 good running backs, don't they?
Yep. As Swanee said, the bad news is number 9 might get his hands on this kick return.
I go back to the blue kick.
Yeah.
The blue kick.
252 in yards, a new NCAA record. So we are seeing history.
That's a combination of things. He certainly is a good return guy, but his return people up front blocking well, and the lack of coverage by Florida State.
Blue kick it. Don't give him a chance for 352. Remember Antonio Perkins against UCLA with 3 punt returns. All I could say was don't kick it to him again.
Those guys line up in that formation where you don't know which side they'll go to, and they will dribble this one. I'd lateral it to him. It's going to be the tight end, Bobby Williamson, still on his feet, takes a big hit at the end of it. And now it's getting a little chippy down there.
I think it's a standing ovation.
To not let number 9 handle it. So now Clemson knows that they need a couple of scores. Still a lot of time left. 3:13 in the third quarter. Sold out Bill Campbell Stadium as it always is. Big game in the ACC here. The team that loses this one would have 2 losses in the Atlantic Coast Conference. We'll give you some of the scores from elsewhere around the ACC in just a little bit here. You saw one of them on that Wake Forest win over Boston College that John and the guys gave you. We'll check the rest of the ACC in a moment. Whitehurst pumps once. Now he wants to go long. This is a jump ball here. And it's broken up. Jerome Carter playing against Calvin Grant, and it's incomplete. You saw BC and Wake Forest and how that one went. Wake Forest with a touchdown with a minute to go to beat Boston College. Virginia's a good football team, fellas. That one's not over yet, but they lead Syracuse. Maryland had trouble with Duke early, and then they really poured it on.
How about NC State? Big win up there at Blacksburg.
No doubt. Last second field goal by Virginia Tech could have won it. And everybody knew Louisville was pretty good, and they wondered whether or not North Carolina's win over Georgia Tech last week was kind of a fluke. Here's another interception by Florida State. This one's Pat Watkins. Charlie Whitehurst is so mad at himself right now.
Well, he needs to be, because that's on him. He had a curl wide open on the half roll and just overthrew it to the defensive back.
It's going to roll out this way and throw it down the field. Clemson came into this ball game 112th in the turnover margin. It's just simply he overthrew the ball. There's 117 teams in Division I. They were 112. They have had 5 turnovers today and no takeaways. So they are minus 12 now.
I'm betting they're 117 by now, don't you think?
I bet they're at the bottom.
Another opportunity for Florida State in Clemson territory at the 46-yard line. Booker back in there at tailback. He gets the toss on the right side. And he goes down the sideline. That almost broke open for him, too.
This is shades of last week when Clemson was playing at A&M, and they allowed A&M to rush for 324 yards on the ground. Problem stopping the run for Clemson.
Booker averaging 6 yards every time he touches it. So between he and Washington, the Clemson defenders are getting sick of number 3, and they're not too happy with number 28 either.
When Florida State puts 2 tight ends in, they have not been able to stop them, because they can basically run their sweeps and their power off tackle plays to either side, and Clemson has to guess which one.
That's what they got in there again. This time it's play action. Sexton in a mess back there in his own backfield. He's sacked again. This one's Leroy Hill, the middle linebacker we talked about. He is one heck of a player. Leroy on everybody's Butkus lists, and Lombardi and Nagurski, and where's that number 43 that Keith Adams used to wear for Clemson?
There he is right here, Brad. Just runs right through. It's a missed assignment by the offensive line for Florida State.
Somewhere out there, Terry Kennard is saying, Nestler, I wore 43 too. Terry, I know that. Just a different position. Although you were big enough to be a linebacker. Second down, 17. Sexton wants to flare it out, and he threw it over the head of Booker. And out there stalking was Corey Groover from his defensive line spot.
Oh, say that again. Corey Groover from his defensive line spot. Let's follow him back. Let's go back. He is a defensive nose tackle. I mean, he's a defensive lineman covering a back. Now that number 7, he was a fullback or linebacker in high school, but he's a defensive tackle trying to cover a back out in the flat.
You told John Lovett, the defensive coordinator this week, said, John, come on, get those guys with number 7 off that line. That messes us up here.
He's 6'3" and 280 pounds. Those things always jump out at me.
Third down, 17 for Florida State with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Sexton's got all day. Oh boy, dangerous pass though. Could have been intercepted. Fudge was close to it. Robinson was the intended receiver.
Getting a little too comfortable there, because everybody was in front of that pass. Should have thrown it somewhere else, throw it away. You got too good a field position to be throwing interception right there.
Well, I think what Wyatt is doing, and this is his first playing opportunity, and you can expect this, is he's looking where he's throwing the ball. He was looking into the middle of the field, and there was a linebacker, a safety, and another safety that all came with him because he was looking there.
The coach with the shades on he was talking to is the quarterback coach, Daryl Dickey. And here's Hall trying to hang one inside the 5. Oh boy, is this a good job by the punter and his help, including Pat Watkins, who caught it.
You know, this game's been so close, I haven't been able to give you any storylines, but the young man here does date my daughter, Tara.
I was going to let you go there.
And I didn't want to mention that when he had the punt blocked, but that's a real nice kick there.
When I met Tara in the booth before the game, I can see why Chris would want to date Tara. She got her mama's good looks, I know that.
Yeah, I think so.
So a great job by the special teams, and now Clemson is going to have to listen to that end zone. And they're at their own 2-yard line. And we'll maybe just let you listen along with us. from the gun. They'll try to run out and get some room. Merriweather got about 3 out to the 5.
Yeah, you don't even want to try to check off down here, because if you do and one of your offensive linemen or somebody doesn't hear and you get sacked, it could be a safety, it could be a fumble. You just don't want any mistakes down in this end zone.
And they'll come up to full voice again because Whitehurst will still be at his own goal line. Now a 2nd down and 7 from the 5. High snap. He didn't know it was coming. He's in trouble, and down he goes. Penalty markers down. Charles Howard on top of Whitehurst.
I think the defense jumped off, so the center snapped it to catch him off, but the quarterback wasn't ready. We'll have to see, but that looks like what happened. There were offsides on Florida State's defense.
Offsides, the middle lineman of the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
I think it was Clifton Dixon that was offside.
See here, the center is taught if the guy jumps off, he jumps off, then snap it to catch him off. Quarterback wasn't ready, and I don't like it too.
That's usually if the guy's under center. I mean,
in the shotgun, you might want to think twice about that.
Yeah, because he may be talking to the wide receiver and not looking at you.
Well, he's supposed to catch it and throw it out of bounds. I know both these guys' coaches, they have it built in for the shotgun.
2nd down now and a long 2. Still not the greatest spot on the field. Merriweather got the first, cuts outside. Ward finally brings him down, but he's got a 1st down. Nice run by Merriweather out of the Clemson backfield. On the all-new 2-hour season premiere of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, a desperate single dad and his 8 kids get the home of their dreams. It's all new, it's Sunday, and it's only on ABC. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, Terry Bowden from Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida, where the Seminoles ranked 11th in the country at a 9-point lead in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. And again, the fans making it tough on Charlie Whitehurst. Off play action, he's in trouble again, and down he goes again. Charles Howard and Dixon again are there.
Brad, this Florida State defense is swarming down here, and at the beginning of the show, I told you about a guy named Jesse Pickens, who was a 5th-year senior just getting his start, but it was always planned that he would share time today with number 79, Barry Richardson. Now, Barry is 6'7", 350 pounds, a bigger guy, but he's a freshman. Both of them lack experience, but they're getting a little bit right now.
Yeah, they are under fire. And this is going to bring the 3rd quarter to a close. And remember, Florida State at home doesn't lose very often. They're 15 minutes away from an important win if they can hold on here. They lead 31-22. Our presentation of college football continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
Silver Premium Malt Beverages, 5% alcohol by volume. 4 flavors to share with friends and those about to be. Flavor your night.
Tuesday, Jim is all new, and he's trying to turn over a new leaf.
I know what you did.
You're going to have to be a little more specific than that.
But he may have just crossed the line for the last time.
I am this close to killing you.
All new Jim, Tuesday, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Volvo XC90 presents X's, O's, and SUVs. Tell us why you're a fan of the Volvo XC90.
You know, this really doesn't look like the old boxy Volvo that my parents used to have.
It's as nice as any luxury SUV, if not better.
Being 6'4", I love the legroom, the headroom here.
And the forward-facing seat is huge for us.
Good car to take to a tailgate.
Enter for your chance to win a new Volvo XC90 SUV during the Volvo Winning Drive. Go to XC90winningdrive.com/win.
You think about the things people do to pursue their passion and how far they can go when they're confident in their equipment. You think about that. Then you build the only SUV with legendary Volvo safety. The Volvo XC90.
Jimmy Carter, Beyond the Presidency, October 3rd at 7 p.m. on Channel 2.
After 4 straight years of leaving his son's team in the dust, Bobby Bowden came to the following conclusion.
It's no fun when you whip your son.
No problem, Dad. Last year, Tommy's Tigers turned the tables on Bobby as Clemson beat up on FSU. Which Bowden will be smiling at the end today? Well, we've got 15 more minutes to find out. And right now, it's Bobby with the 31-22 lead. Clemson now works with a second down. The scoreboard says third down. The field marker says second down. Either way, it's 11 yards to go. Now they've got it fixed on the scoreboard. And I think that's what they were waiting for. Here we go. Whitehurst in the gun. Charlie's been hassled all day long. It's been his day.
1 of 7 for 4 yards and 2 interceptions the second half.
Here comes the blitz, and he dropped the ball again.
His eyes were on that.
He was looking at the same thing you were looking at.
That blitz.
Now it's going to be 3rd and a mile after we check in with John in New York.
Well, tough for your quarterback there in this Verizon Wireless update. Tough for Iowa as well. Grant Mason steps in front of this pass. Doesn't look like he can get it to the end zone, but look, he's spun and thrown in by his own teammate. That's cheating. They allowed it to count. 30-10 is the score. This is your Verizon Wireless update. Back to you.
All right, John, a lot of points off turnovers there. Same story here. Clemson turnovers have become Florida State points. 3rd and long. Whitehurst steps up in the pocket, finds a man. It's going to be short of the first down, though. Open field tackle by Bryant. McFadden preventing Kelvin Grant from picking up the first down. At least they give their punting team a little more room here.
Charlie's having going through a tough, not only a tough day, but a tough start to the season. He's a good quarterback, and I really like him. I think he's going to come out of this, but he's just having a tough start. Look at the punt. Look at the punt situation.
Yeah, I haven't.
Look how wide these guys are separated here.
Always looks like you're asking to get it blocked in this kind of thing.
They do that to help get the guys that are blocking downfield so they don't get jammed.
Willie Reed dropped it, picked it back up, and still doesn't get much on the return. They stay with it.
That gives me the shivers. When
I don't see how you protect the inside lanes. Again, I've only been out 5 years, and I never had any of that in football during that time. It's all fairly new.
13:27 to go in the ball game. Still Florida State by 9.
Every Sunday, these bold warriors meet in a quest for glory. Proud gladiators whose game is equal parts preparation and passion. When men become myths and moments become legend. The game is tailgating. The cola is Pepsi. It's the cola.
It doesn't take a degree in engineering to know that your car needs regular oil and filter changes. That's why we're ready in advance with brand names you trust. Castrol, Valvoline, Pennzoil, all in stock at ready-to-go low prices. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Over here.
Curbside takeaway. Just one more thing to love about Outback. Just call up, pull up, and we'll bring it right to your car so you can enjoy the great taste of Outback anywhere.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Today, we're doing self-portraits. But I want you to paint your soul, to liberate your minds. Show me what's inside you. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about.
The restyled new 2005 Jeep Liberty. If it's in you, put it out there.
Florida State by 9, 13:27 remaining in the ballgame. They've got good field position. They don't have to get too fancy with a 9-point lead. They'd like to use clock, I would think, but they've got the 4 wide receiver group out there from the 49. And they'll throw it. And it's Stovall. Broke one tackle. And he's down to about the 42-yard line. Let's take a look at our Jeep rushing playbook, Bob.
All right, we'll show you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Watch, the fullback's going to come over here and get a block. Meeks, the right guard's going to come over and get a block. But there's some other things that happen on this play. The 2 guys right there. Here's the fullback and there's the guard. They're going to get their guys. But the back breaks a tackle there, and he breaks a tackle right here. So the 2 guys get their blocks, but the back also breaks a couple tackles, and he breaks one there. So it's a combination of 2 good blocks and a good block and breaking some tackles. That's for any good running play. The back's got to break some tackles.
James Coleman broke one there. The fullback got a little look and got a first down.
Trick play. They ran their fullback up the middle, and it wasn't on goal line or short yardage. Well, it was second down short yardage.
Yeah, that is considered a trick play around here. At the 33, first down for Florida State. So they're doing just what they want to do. Keep it nice and safe, move it into Clemson territory, play with your 9-point lead, and hope that the clock just keeps on ticking. Now it's Booker. Booker, whoa, what a move in the hole. Pick up of 13 more.
He's fun, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. And right now they've got Clemson playing on their heels right now, on defense. He can stop on a dime and change directions.
Got it down to the 21. He put that one move out in the hole. I didn't think either one of his feet landed, but he changed directions. He's got 72 yards on 11 carries. Averaging 6.5, so the average is getting better, not worse, as the game goes along. He'll get it again. Whoa! I don't think he's going anywhere that time. He ran into a hill or a mountain. It was a hill. Leroy. Let's check in with Swanee.
Well, guys, Alex Barron is 6'6", 307 pounds, and this is his foundation. It's a size 19. Now, as you put it down, it will dwarf my size 11s right there. But not only does he have a solid foundation here, but he's got great footwork. They say he's one of the better athletes, excellent basketball player. He can go after it, but he has been moving around this line, opening up holes all afternoon. Linemen these days, his sides are big, but they've got great mobility.
A preseason All-American. And they go that way again behind him, and Booker again does a little Tallahassee two-step, and he's got another good gain on the ground.
We talked about Clemson working that weak gap on offense. You've got Florida State putting 2 tight ends, working to the short side boundary away from the flanker every time with that toss sweep. They've gained 7, 8, 10 yards.
Here's the guy Swanee talked about, getting out in space and then taking one man out of the play.
He's a 5th-year senior who is probably going to be one of the first offensive linemen taken in the draft next spring.
Third down, a long one. Booker again, same play on the sweep, got the first down, and he's inside the 10. Ty Hill knocked him down, but Booker's got something working here. As earlier it was Washington, Bob showed you on the playbook how he went down the sideline after breaking tackles, and now they give you the other back who's got so many moves and still has all that speed, and it's first and goal at the 8.
And you never have enough good running backs. I mean, you need all the good running backs you can get.
He'll stay in there. He's got 86 yards.
You got 10 guys around the ball right there for Clemson.
And he's got a couple more down to the 5. So the clock winds its way. It'll be under 10 minutes now remaining when they come up to this second down and goal. And Booker's going to get a breather, and Leon Washington's coming back in. 88 is a career high now for Lorenzo Booker. They take him out. They put Leon Washington, the junior out of Jacksonville, back in. Remember, he scored earlier. 8th play of the drive. Second and goal, Florida State at the Clemson 5-yard line, trying to add to a 9-point lead here in the 4th quarter. It's Washington. He's met head-on in the hole. Great job by Leroy Hill again, the middle linebacker, who filled in that gap in a hurry. Boy, he is one active player. He's good.
They're still able to get too many defenders in the area. When they toss, I like the toss sweep because the back can go inside outside and avoid the extra blocker. The last 2 times where they've run the ISO, you really can't avoid that extra player right in there.
And now it's 3rd and goal at the 5. And if this was the first quarter and Chris Wicks was still healthy, I'd be thinking quarterback draw all the way here.
All I can think of is quarterback draw to the field. Get it to the field, kick the field goal straight ahead, and that should be enough. And you might score.
Knowles going to take a timeout here. Sexton will have a chance to talk it over on the sidelines. 8:56 remaining in the ball game. We'll see if Florida State can add to its lead when we come back.
Today, we're doing self-portraits. But I want you to paint your soul, to liberate your minds. Show me what's inside you. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about.
The restyled new 2005 Jeep Liberty. If it's in you, put it out there.
Optimism has always been celebrated with a bell. And every day when this bell rings, it's a symbol of our pledge to serve the investor with new standards, new leadership, and a renewed commitment to being the best market on earth. It's your market, and there's only one trade that really matters here. Yours. The New York Stock Exchange.
Thank you for opening the door.
Thank you for playing in the U.S.
Thank you for making us proud.
For being part of a great tradition.
Thanks for being a role model for me and my dad.
Thank you for your toughness.
Thank you for picking up the torch.
Thanks, beautiful.
Thanks for being our sister.
Yeah, we love you. We love you, Mia.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Jeep. Trail-rated capability only in a Jeep 4x4. Aflac, ask about it at work. Samuel Adams, when you're ready for a distinctive brew, Samuel Adams, always a good decision. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. And AOL for broadband, proud sponsor of 1st and 10. And in this case, it won't have to be 1st and 10, but the end line would be our broadband line. It's 3rd down and goal at the 5. Florida State with a 9-point lead, and any kind of points they add on to this makes it a real uphill struggle for Clemson. So they've already obviously in field goal range. Let's see what they do. Trying to score the touchdown on 3rd and 5. It'll be Sexton from the shotgun. Leon Washington flanking him on his left side. And they direct snap it to Washington. Trying to get to the end zone. No, he didn't get there. Took a wicked hit at about the 1-foot line.
So both teams have the direct snap today.
Yep.
Where the quarterback gets out of the way and they snap it straight to the back.
Fudge is the guy that made the stop. Here's another look, Bob.
The snap is going to go right here. Watch the quarterback when he gets an Oscar for this acting job.
And just that close. And now Bobby Bowden brings in about 100 tight ends.
This is interesting here because a field goal puts you up 2 scores.
Yeah, but if you don't make it, you give them the ball back on their half-foot line, right?
4th down. The fullback is in again. James Coleman, touchdown. So they got the score, much like last week. Fourth downs have been good to them.
That's as much thinking to Bobby. Bobby's probably, that's as much action as fullbacks have gotten here in a long time.
That's right.
They caught a couple of screen passes to him today, a couple of touchdowns down there on the goal line.
Now the extra point will make it a 16-point difference. And if you're an optimist and a Clemson Tiger fan, you can be thinking 2 touchdowns, 2 two-pointers to try to get in the ball game. But we'll see. It's Coleman from a yard out, and it's 38-22.
Can inspiration change your mood? Can luxury feel intimate and stylish? Yes. Can a 340 horsepower Hemi make it move like this, drive like this, cost less than you'd expect, and still turn heads easily? The totally new Chrysler 300, starting at $23,920. Chrysler, inspiration comes standard.
If you talk on the phone as much as I... Hold on. Hello? Yeah. Can I call you back? Okay. Singular has a plan. Mom? Hi. No way. Yeah. As I was saying.
At Singular, get our best deal ever. 1,000 nationwide anytime minutes, including rollover. Just $39.99. Hurry in and get a new Motorola camera phone.
I call it my... I gotta take this plan. Hey.
Come in to find out how Singular fits you best.
This is not what smart travelers do. But this is, go to thrifty.com. Compare our cars, compare our rates. We're not scared because we put our lowest rates out there every day. Thrifty.com. Book smart.
This kind of cop has made lots of enemies.
Goes around, comes around.
Taste some karma. Now it's payback time.
Somebody's coming after me.
NYPD Blue, the final season, Tuesday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
Our Pacific Life game summary in the ball game today. First touchdown pass of the season did not come from Chris Ricks, but Wyatt Sexton. With a game close at 17-14, he hooked up with Chauncey Stovo, 47 yards, touchdown. Ensuing kickoff. Justin Miller, one of 2 kick returns for a score today, tying a school record, breaking an NCAA record for yardage. And then Leon Washington's 35-yard sprint down the sideline made it 31-22. On 4th down, Coleman just scored another touchdown. So it is a 16-point difference right now here at Doak Campbell. And Clemson's backed up to it. This guy, if they can get it in his hands, maybe they can change it quickly again. I don't know.
He's going to have to get a lateral, I think, from that up back, because I got a feeling it's going to be squib. But if I'm on the sideline, I say I'd probably coach him up to lateral that thing back.
They do drill it into the ground again. Taken at the 14 by Justin Miller. Trying to break free, and he can't. So that's going to be his shortest return, I think, of the day. And Clemson will have a long way to go and not that much time to get there. Let's check in with John in New York.
Right, when you're voting for your singular All-America Player of the Week, you should consider Kyle Orton of Purdue. 34 yards in this touchdown pass. He had 4 TD passes, ran one in as well. To vote, you text message the word player to 64444 or go on to ESPN.com, keyword singular. Kyle Orton, definitely a candidate, Brad.
Boy, and a candidate maybe for
a homeboy.
The whole shooting match, yeah.
A homeboy.
He has played great. Look at the difference in time of possession. Whitehurst wishes he didn't have any time of possession right here. 4th sack. Charlie just swarmed under. Travis Johnson was there first and Chauncey Davis there second.
4 sacks, 3 interceptions, couple fumbles, 5 turnovers for Clemson. It's a tough day, and as we mentioned before, it's a tough defense.
We talked to Travis Johnson yesterday, and what a delightful young fella.
Yeah.
301 pounds, and I mean, it doesn't look like he weighs 250. That's all muscle. Another one of the California guys. And he is a big play performer on that inside of their defensive front. Here's the other Coleman, Dwayne Coleman. So we're under 8 minutes now. And Bobby Bowden looking for number 344.
Stop was made by number 50.
You know, Mickey plays so many people. You can see these Florida State's defense getting fresher and fresher and stronger and stronger. Clemson, they're just falling back further and further with all these substitutes. Mickey believes that if the guy has a chance to start next year, he's going to get a lot of playing time this year.
Exactly.
He has always played a lot of guys.
Third down, Whitehurst steps up, had it tipped, and then drops. Should have been caught, but it might have been the deflection by Buster Davis that made Kelvin Grant take his eye off it for a moment. At any rate, it's 4th down.
That young man will have a better day, Kelvin Grant.
Yep. He had a sure touchdown on what looked like a perfect ball from Whitehurst earlier in the ball game, right at the goal line, and couldn't hold it. And now it's time to punt for Chasen again.
You can play the woulda, coulda, shoulda, but 2 deep balls for Clemson. Don't turn the ball over earlier. You're probably going in with a pretty good lead at halftime.
Yep. And looks like some motion up front. Coming out of his stance, I think it was Nick Watkins on the punting team. Part of that wide split that Bob and Terry were talking about earlier. So they're going to back him up, make him kick it.
Dead ball foul, false start, number 12 of the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
Bobby doesn't need the headset right now with a 16-point lead with 7:21 left. That's Chris Davis back. Willie Reed's done most of the punt returning today. Nice kick. Davis will take it on the fly at the 37. Davis broke 1 tackle and got back to about the 44, and that's it. So out comes Florida State's offense again. Every time they look up there, they see that the score is in good shape and the clock is not in good shape for Clemson. Only 7 minutes left.
Yep.
Last series, they ran the ball 9 times and threw it only once. They're just beginning to overpower on both sides of the line of scrimmage. This is a veteran offensive line for Florida State. This is what you would expect from, it was 5 seniors, but now 4 seniors with the loss.
Well, we don't expect anything fancy here. Clemson looked like they were a man short defensively. He trotted out there to the corner, and now it's a toss to Booker going that way. That might have been what Sexton was doing, looking over there, finding out there wasn't a corner on the field. Let's take a look at Bob's weekly edition of Who's Hot.
Well, UCLA is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Huh? Notre Dame, you know, Notre Dame, I think they are turning that around. How about Navy, huh? You got your Virginia team on there.
Yep. Minnesota.
Auburn's a real sleeper. They had such a good team last year and didn't play well. I think they're flying under the radar this year. They may be the best team in the SEC West.
Navy won. How about Tim Frisbee?
South Carolina's 39-year-old
I got that story.
ball player.
Yeah, we got a story in a minute.
I didn't see USC up there. I mean, who's hot?
Well, they're supposed to be hot.
They're supposed to be hot. They're just warming up.
There's Booker.
You didn't see Purdue up there either, did you?
Yeah,
Swanee?
that's true. That's true.
Just making sure.
They're not a sleeper anymore, I'll say that much.
Here's Pops, the walk-on receiver at South Carolina, eligible to play tonight, and Lou Holtz said you can expect to see him. He's earned it.
He's a former Army Ranger that was in the first Gulf War. He's 20 years in the Army Rangers. He's got 5 kids.
That's good.
He's in spring practice. He's a wide receiver. He went through the NCAA. Clearinghouse. They looked for him and they said, well, they weren't around there 20 years ago. So they said, I guess he's all right. So he's eligible.
He's probably old enough to know Dr. Kildare, or at least Ben Casey, or somebody like that. Here's the fullback again. B.J. Dean almost broke it.
On the carry, number 35.
Well, we've seen who's hot right now. Florida State's pretty hot too, but who's not, Bob?
These are never any fun. I mean, the great Northwest. I mean, Oregon and Washington. The 4 universities in that great area is 2-8. So they're not doing so well.
Mississippi State got hammered today again.
Yeah. in the MAC, the Mid-American Conference, how good they were last year and the year before.
Not dumping anybody this year.
Yeah, not too good.
I tell you, Jeff's going to call me my brother because he's given the ball to the fullback about a dozen times today just to shut me up.
Yeah, the only guy we know that got to sit in on coaches' meetings. We have coaches' meetings to talk to coaches, but we don't get to sit in the meetings with the other coaches.
Believe me, there's only one game in the history of all of college football where I got somebody on both sides that I can't get anything in.
Yeah, we're under 5 minutes now, and it looks like Clemson is going to go to what they were hoping not to go to, and that is 1-3. Their fans, some hardy ones, made the trip. They had high expectations after last year when Tommy's Tigers beat Bobby's Florida State Seminoles. It started a 4-game winning streak to end the year, including their win over Tennessee in the Peach Bowl, and they finished 9-4. And when all the smoke had cleared, Tommy went from beleaguered to wealthy with a new contract and was also named ACC Coach of the Year. So that's how sort of fickle this business is at times, and I know we all know that, but this year, I guess it's safe to say, Terry, with a new contract, there's not the kind of heat on your brother that there was a year.
But I think he recognized that he's got some problems with his football team. He's got a veteran quarterback who was under a lot of pressure but has not made good decisions. His defense has taken a step backwards physically, and those people, they have the right to expect that somewhere along the line they're going to get back to that 10-11 win once in a while. And so he should be under a little bit heat as far as playing better football and having better football.
I'll tell you what, I think his system and his style with the no huddle and all that, the spread, puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Because in that situation, if you don't get the ball to the guys outside, somebody's got to get it to him. And if you're a pass, I know they run the ball some and you spread it out and you run the ball, but a quarterback in that has to get the same way with Florida State. If you're a 3 wide receiver, 1 back, 1 tight end, and a fullback, you don't get the pressure is on the quarterbacks to perform.
And you know, we talked to my father. He kept saying that today's game is about how much pressure, how good the quarterback's going to play. I'm not sure they have to play as well in some systems as they do in these.
And as we mentioned early on, these two guys are experienced players. 59 starts between them. And they both struggled coming into this ballgame.
One guy only lasted about 10 minutes. That's Chris Ricks, who never got back in the lineup after turning his ankle.
All right, Coach.
On the scramble.
So what do you think? Next game for Florida State. Ricks is
Sexton. Sexton had a beautiful throw right there. I think Wyatt Sexton. I think.
Well, wait, you don't lose your job with an injury though, do you?
I don't know that he can't play right now.
Well,
okay.
I'm telling you, well, if he's healthy, look at him skirming down there.
You know what? I find a way to go with Wyatt Sexton if I can. If I don't feel like I can because of the injury, but I find a way. Wyatt Sexton just made another nice throw here. It's not like you dumped on Chris Ricks. You see something you couldn't see before. The kid came in and was very calm, cool, made some nice plays.
So he lost his job to injury.
No, I don't think so. I think there was enough playing time before that injury. Evaluate himself. You get me going here. My mother's not going to talk to me, I guess.
I was going to say, you're digging yourself a big old hole over there. Next up for Florida State is North Carolina and Syracuse. Those are teams that they are going to be expected to win. Now, that matchup on October 16th looms kind of large. Virginia's a good football team.
Yeah, Virginia's got a very good football team. Tommy's got to face them first, and my dad down the road.
Maryland will be a good test.
Yes.
Bethia to try a field goal. You just don't want to get one blocked here and run back for a touchdown. The kick on the way, and Zagat's got it. Well, that'll just about do it with 2:10 left. 41-22. And it looks like Florida State going to get their revenge from a year ago.
Relax, we got supplemental insurance.
What are you talking about?
If we get injured and miss work, we're covered for things like lost pay and other expenses with this.
With what?
Plus, they pay you cash. Great, huh?
Who does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
We have 170 kinds of beer from all over the world. Call me when you're ready.
I'm ready. Call the Sam Adams.
Yeah.
You can can go around the world and not find a better beer than Samuel Adams. Always a good decision.
Can inspiration make the SUV safer? It can, with 5-star government crash test ratings, available side curtain airbags for all 3 rows, ABS, and available all-wheel drive. The best rating of any SUV tested for rollover resistance. Chrysler Pacifica. We didn't just make an SUV, we made a safety utility vehicle. Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Now you can play all the Star Wars battles any way you want. Introducing Star Wars Battlefront, the video game, now available, rated teen.
Well, as he said, one of us is fixing to get hurt. It's either going to be him or me, and Mama's not going to be happy no matter what happens. And Bobby Bowden's going to beat Tommy today after Tommy did the best of it in Death Valley a year ago. But today it's Florida State's turn, and Florida State will go to 2-1. Their lone loss being that opener against Miami. A game that was delayed from a Monday night to a Friday night due to the weather and the hurricanes. And losing to the Hurricanes in the fashion that they did, a lot of those guys were hanging their heads because they had lost another game to their arch rival from South Florida. But the players, pretty much to a man, said Coach Bowden came in the locker room, and after he had to do his news conference, said, okay, boys, let's cheer up, because back in 1988, I lost my opener to Miami, and we ran the table the rest of the way, and we can do it again.
Well, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt, and that's part of the reason that he liked moving the Miami game from the end of the season to the beginning of the season.
Play your way back through if you lose.
Plenty of time to regain it.
And the similarities of this team and those great teams they had, those right here, this defense, they've only given up 6 points. We've had 16 off special teams.
Proctor, the backup quarterback for Clemson's in, and he almost had it intercepted. Time permitting, reminder, stay tuned for the Thrifty post-game report with John and Craig and Aaron. Give you scores and highlights from other games around the country today. Some big ones out there. And this is going to be one in the win column for Florida State. Clemson will have to regroup now and try to dig themselves out of a 1-3 hole. They'll be 1-2 in the ACC. And I know they're disappointed about what happened against the Aggies, but the one that's going to be stuck in their craw the whole year is the final 2 minutes against Georgia Tech, when it was just a collapse in the valley is what it was. And it was a bad snap on a punt. It was a couple of things. It was letting Reggie Ball just throw fade jump balls to his 6'3" freshman receiver. And that one is really going to hang with him for a long time, I think.
Yeah, without that one, you're still just one conference loss today.
Right.
You got things to build on.
And, you know, Miami's not going to have it easy. We saw them. Nice hit out there defensively. We watched Miami on Thursday night, and they're not invincible by any stretch of the imagination. So when you think that it's just a Florida State-Miami thing, you better start taking into account the NC States and the Virginias and teams like that. And Clemson was expected to be in that mix. Maryland played with Duke close and then blew it open. And, you know, Ralph Regent's always got something for you to try to handle. So the ACC is not going to be a breeze for anybody, I don't think.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Too good a conference now.
Even the way Forest come up there and bite you, they play bad, and boom, they knock off a Boston College today. They'll knock off somebody that's supposed to contend.
Yep. There's a nice kick. Davis has to backpedal all the way to the 23. Oh, nice move. Chris Davis. And out to about the 43-yard line.
They'll be showing that one a few times.
Look at the smiles on his teammates. That's pretty good.
Yeah, when the team gets together and watches this tape, they'll be running this back.
That's it. Here's Chris Davis.
This is the one my dad compares to Peter Warwick. When he signed him, he hadn't seen anybody in high school closer to Peter Warwick than this man right here. They're expecting big things. Chris Davis.
That's pretty good company, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know what the other C stands for, but I know one of them's Chris.
So Florida State comes out with just 1:10 that they'll have to burn here to get the victory. And the 6th meeting between the Bowdens will go to the old man. Running tough is Lamar Lewis, true freshman, getting some time out there. Today's Chevrolet Players of the Game. Could you ever doubt it? It'd be Justin Miller of Clemson. He almost single-handedly kept them in the ballgame with 2 kick returns for touchdowns and over 250 yards in return work. And Wyatt Sexton, I'm pretty sure, even though when he told Swanee, I'm practicing throwing long to my little brother because I'd love to get out there and get a chance to do it, Chauncey Stovall played his little brother in real life. The 47-yard touchdown is the one that really propelled Florida State to the victory. In recognition of their efforts, Chevy will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Final half minute. And again, this is Jamal Edwards now. 2 freshmen that they like, Edwards and Lewis. Penalty marker is down on the play.
On the carry, number 33,
Edwards, a freshman out of Greensboro, 6-footer, 200 pounds. So a lot of guys seeing action today with the game in hand.
Bob said it right. You can never have enough running backs, and they've got obviously 2 upperclassmen that are going to split time, but they get 2 more young ones that they can build and bring along, and that's what they need. I was at Oklahoma last week, and fellas, there's a guy named Adrian Peterson.
Oh, he's something.
Oh my goodness! Last time I saw a guy in Oklahoma like that, it was Billy Sims. And this guy is something.
Even Lloyd Carr at Michigan is playing true freshman. Geez, I never thought I'd see that.
Yeah, that's
so everybody's playing these true freshmen now.
Well, if they're good enough, you may not have them long enough.
That's right.
So you better play them.
Go ahead and play them.
Well, we hope Chris Ricks gets better and is ready to at least be the man, if that's the choice Bobby Bowden makes. If not, it'll be number 19 that'll be under center against North Carolina. We'll just have to wait and see. And
he'll do some serious thinking about it. Right? If he did as much thinking as he did last week, or the week after Miami, he'll do some serious thinking this weekend.
Here's Lewis. That's going to be the final play of the game. Chris Ricks can only look on and limp off, but he wasn't around for much of this one, but I'm sure he's happy for his teammates. He was the first guy to meet him over there on the sidelines on many of their scoring drives. The final score is 41-22. Bobby Bowden's Seminoles over Tommy Bowden's Tigers.
Where'd the fun go?
Where'd the fun go?
Yep.
What a line. That says it all, doesn't it? Tommy saying to Dad, where did the fun go? I think they have to wait until the offseason and the Bowden family picnics on the beach, because this one's no fun for either one of them. Bobby wins it 41-22. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. Don't forget, Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. It's the Cowboys and the Redskins on ABC's Monday Night Football.
And this is a matchup of the year here. You got Chris Rump trying to cover Harrison Houston. Obviously, a little confusion in the South Carolina secondary. That's not what you want to see.
2nd and goal from the 1. Bilkey and Rhett the backs. Houston the motion man. Eric Rhett, and that's a touchdown. Punching in his 2nd consecutive score here in the 4th quarter, and the Gamecocks lengthen the lead to 10.
Behind that right side, you see number 75, Donnie Young. 74 is Jason Odoms. Boom, Charlie Dean. Good job of blocking, and then the Rhett punch for 6.
Judd Davis, no problem. And Florida now with a couple of unanswered touchdowns. Rhett has gone in twice. He's over 100 for the day. And it's 37-26 Florida. 10:27 to go.
You're watching FSN.
It's time to get moving. Moving to the music of your favorite artist and getting your body in shape with Sweating in the Spirit, the only calorie-burning workout designed for your mind, body, and spirit.
This program is about fitness, fun, and fellowship.
International fitness expert and star of several TV shows, Donna knows how to help you lose weight and feel great.
It's time for you to tune up your tempo with Donna Richardson's Sweating in the Spirit.
Donna's workout is combined with the joyful sounds of some of today's top gospel artists.
take care of that spiritual temple for a minute with my girl, Donna Richardson.
Donna begins with a fat-burning aerobic routine. Then, Donna will help you tone and trim your body. Plus, Donna leads you through a spirit stretch and tone.
Girlfriend is helping us to keep it off, and you can do the same thing, too.
Order now, and you'll get Donna's bonus Sweatin' in the Spirit soundtrack CD, featuring songs from Kurt Franklin, Yolanda Adams, and more.
Just don't listen to the music. You gotta get up and move to the music.
To order, have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen. Rush delivery available.
Start your Sunday with NASCAR This Morning, the only pre-race show that puts you on track with up-to-the-minute standings, interviews, and in-depth analysis you won't find anywhere else.
And we'll see who can pull it off this afternoon.
You're okay, bud. Great job, man.
NASCAR This Morning, tomorrow on FSN.
What are the Giants? Far to the Packers. Fox NFL Sunday, this weekend presented in HD.
First down at the 34. Gators are coming. And the pass behind Monty Meads. Ben Hanks was blitzing from the left side.
Florida's still putting a lot of pressure on defensively. Still not afraid to take the chance, you know, sending people, and it's man-to-man on the outside. You know, they may have a shot at putting one of these up. Let Means run under it, or Terrell Harris run under it.
7 minutes, 55 seconds to go. Here they come again. Williamson flushed out. He can't throw it. He was running to his left, and he just couldn't throw the ball back across his body. And finally, the pursuit, most notably Kevin Carter, bumped him out. There was good quarterback pressure by Ellis Johnson in the middle.